Hello, my friends. Um, Let me fiddle with the volume a little bit, and then I think we're good to go. Hello, we are back with Game of Fortune. We're here. We're doing it. Um, yeah, we're so. Oh God. What happened last time is, uh, everybody got taken to the weird god dimension, and we got split up, and
Oh, didn't we kill our friend? Or almost kill our friend?
yeah, we killed our friend in the there was a sort of Russian roulette-y thing going on where it was one person versus three other people, um and we got the one person killed. Oh, this was not an option before.
Oh,
Oh, is Discord
I can.
fucking with the stream?
Yeah, I was like, I cannot see it.
Let me.
It says that you've minimized your application.
Discord.
Discord, please, I have a family.
Hold on, let me leave and come back, and I'll see if it fixes it.
You're right. There were fours. There were lots of fours.
Why is it saying stream pause?
Oh, now it's nope. This doesn't like it. Okay. I'm gonna refresh my Discord.
Let's all leave Discord and come back. Also, sorry I'm eating french fries on stream, everybody. I just finished eating dinner, and this was part of my dinner. Alright, let's try again.
Come on, Discord.
There we go.
Yeah!
We got it.
You did it.
Yeah, I know. No one has ever eaten on a Moonshot stream ever. I'm the first person to do it. Yeah, I think this thing over New Game wasn't there before. But I assume it's it lets you start a new game from one of the branches that you've already been to.
Yeah, I assume it's kind of like a chapter select type dealie, or alt path
Yeah.
thing.
Let's fucking load game. Oh, I was the narrator, right? I don't remember.
I don't remember.
All it led to was a long hall, and with Keisha right behind me, I wasn't able to circle back. The only thing I could do was go forward. Keisha was silent for the long walk, probably for the best. I didn't have anything I wanted to say to her. And aside from her little pep talk, I wasn't keen on hearing anything else from her at the moment. Eventually, we made our way over to the end of the hallway and were met with another door. I slowly opened the door up and... we returned back to the lounge? Huh? I looked around, and everything looked to be the same as earlier.
You did finish the challenge, right?
Yeah, we're done. Oh yeah, that's right. Our teammates like came back to life at the end of the challenge because we won.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot about that.
Didn't we just come from here?
Kishi walked past me and looked around. Do you want to be Kishi?
Yeah, I'll be Kishi.
All I remember
Look,
is that I was Devin.
this looks like it. Guess this is where all the survivors of games are going to end up.
Kishi shrugged and then walked over towards Zeph, who was stuffing his nose with paper towels at the kitchenette.
What are you doing?
My nose is bleeding, so I'm keeping it from being an issue. I can't be
What?
bleeding all over the place now, can I? He rubbed his nose and then turned his attention toward me. So how'd it go? You two have some kind of heart-to-heart or something? You chill now?
Zeph.
Kishi smacked him with his shoes. Oh yeah, are these two like influencers?
Yeah, he's like a skateboarder influencer, and she's like a lady.
Ouch. Jeez, I'm just trying to lighten the mood.
We'll do a better job. Be nice, alright? She's been through a lot, and we're only at the first round. Wasn't our friend named Clyde?
Yeah. I think that there are routes that we like got the option to go back to where he like doesn't die also.
Yeah, wasn't it like a route where you choose to kill Devin instead of, and also like routes where you separate?
Mm-hmm. So once we finish, we could like go back and do those. Paddington, you're also like 2 weeks too early for game shows. Come back during the Moon Carnival. We will have so many trivia game shows going on. Yeah. You want something to drink? Or something to eat, maybe? No, I'm fine. Alright, your choice. You said that this is the first round.
That's right. We'll have to play 3 more games. Assuming that you survive all of them, that is.
Also, I saw that the dev, like, I think patched this with, like, a bonus epilogue or something and, like, a couple other things. And I did not download the patch, so this is still, like, the version 1 release.
Okay. But we got through the first game, so we're a quarter of the way there. Boys.
Right. I walked over to one of the couches and sat down, idly staring at the opposite wall. A quarter of the way there and I lost my best friend. I suppose things can't get worse. Well, that's not true. I could die, but at least if that was the case, that'd be the end of it. No suffering, no pain, just death. Why the hell do I sound suicidal? I don't want to die, I want to live. But it feels so impossible.
It could also be a very painful death.
Yeah. You could get, like, smashed with hammers or whatever was happening in that last game. That's nothing new, I suppose.
You need to be better. You can't just coast through life anymore. You've got to apply yourself. What would Drayden think if he saw you like this? You're a hope now, Sue. You have to start putting in effort now. What's so hard about that to understand?
Are you even listening to us? You aren't gonna amount to anything if you don't put in the effort, Devin. Don't you care? Of course I care. I'm trying my best. Your best isn't good enough. You have to try harder or you're not gonna achieve anything. So put in some effort already. But I am. I'm trying as hard as I can. Doing everything that I can to be better.
If this is as good as you can do, then you're not going to amount to anything. You're worthless.
Oh no.
Bruh.
You're worthless. Worthless. I'm just worthless.
Bruh. Devin?
Huh? I was pulled out of the mire of my own thoughts as Kishi put a glass of water in front of me.
Sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. Looked like you were deep in thought there. I just wanted to let you know that I got you a drink real quick.
I said I was fine.
I know, but just in case you change your mind, it's there.
Keisha turned to Zeph and handed him a glass of water as well.
And one for you, too.
Thanks, babe. You're too kind.
I really am sometimes. So you need to try harder yourself.
What's that supposed to mean? I'm a kind person.
I'm not talking about me, doofus.
Then who are you talking about?
You can be so damn oblivious, you know that? Do I really need to spell it out for you?
You don't have to make him apologize.
No, he should. What he said wasn't necessary. Things are only going to get worse from here on out. The least he can do is apologize for grabbing you like that.
No, really, it's fine. I don't want to cause any more tension or issues, okay? Shit, now you're just making me feel bad if I don't apologize. Look, I didn't mean to make you scared or anything. I just didn't want you hurting Kishi. That's all. Promise that I won't do anything like that again. Outside of these games, of course.
So,
What? I've got a right to fight for my life, too.
that's not the point.
The air was awkward. Even with Kishi's attempt to make peace, there was still some tension between us. Eventually, we resigned ourselves to silently resting on the couches and waiting for others to arrive in hopes that they bring some levity to the place. Or whatever joy you could bring to this kind of dreary place. After a few more minutes of waiting, we heard the door open and looked to see who had managed to survive from their own game.
Heyo, we've made it safe and sound.
Yep. Philip and Richard entered the lounge with enthusiasm.
That's enthusiasm.
Well, at least Philip did. Richard was more or less the same as I remembered him.
Let's see. Kishi, Zeph, and Devin. I see that you three survived.
Well, it wasn't easy, I can tell you that much. Death isn't really all that pleasant.
Oh, I know the feeling. I passed out from my game. But luckily, Richard here managed to win our team game for us.
Yeah.
So that means that Grant and Jade are gone then? Just about, yep. Kind of a shame, they seem nice enough. But that's just how things go around here. No, I think we're better off without them. Or at least without Grant.
Wow.
Not a fan of the guy. Let's just say that I'm not exactly a fan of his work. Or his prior work anyway. I don't remember who Grant was.
Was Grant the, programmer guy that we didn't like?
I don't know.
Oh wait, we have character profiles. Hold on. Options? Yeah. Yeah, Grant was one of the programmers, and so was Jade.
Oh, but he's... Oh, so Jade is the one we didn't like, and Grant is the fucking other guy. The guy who's literally just a guy.
Yeah.
Didn't know that you two had history together. We don't. Just heard a few things here and there from my grandmother. Jesus, what? I see. My grandmother, the tech hacker.
Philip turned his eyes toward me, and I saw the look in his eyes change to one of pity. He walked over towards me and sat across from me.
So, I'm guessing that Clyde...
Why are you even asking? You should know what happened just from looking at who's here.
Well, I didn't want to assume. You know what they say about people who assume. They make an ass out of you and...
Is now really the time for that?
You're right, sorry. I didn't come here to make jokes or anything like that. Just wanted to see how you were handling this.
Kishi already did the whole check up on me thing. I'm fine. I don't need or want your pity. It's going to get really annoying when everyone comes in here and asks me how I'm doing. The least you can do is just let me wallow away in my feelings until the next game, okay?
Fair enough. I won't bother you again with it. But if you ever need to vent or get something off your chest, you can talk to me. The weird old man. Or Kishi, since it sounds like she cares at least a little bit about your well-being.
Yeah, Thanks.
Anyway, since there are 3 of us that are dead, that means there's only 1 person left eligible to die. Sorry, I was not able to read that sentence. Any guesses on who that might be?
If you ask me, it's probably gonna be one of those hat ladies. I don't see those two as the kind that'll do well under pressure. The others ended up discussing who they thought would end up surviving their own game. I tried to drown out their conversation. After all, it was weird to hear them basically betting on who they thought would die next. I was so transfixed on muffling out their words, I didn't see Richard sitting right beside me. Hey. Ah! I nearly fell off the couch, which would have been bad, because that would have caused a scene. What the hell are you doing? Sitting? Yes, I see that, but why did you just plop yourself right next to me without so much as a warning? I waved, and I tried to get your attention, but you weren't looking.
Also,
So...
you have to warn someone before you sit down in a communal space. Like, I feel like you don't. I feel like you're just allowed to sit.
Yeah, it's not like he was talking to you, he was just sitting down. So I spoke up, and then you nearly fell onto the ground. I didn't mean to scare you.
Read her ass, Richard. Get her.
Well, you failed. Maybe try tapping your foot or something else next time. Sure. Worth a shot.
Get her ass.
Is there a reason why you were trying to get my attention or something? There are
To
plenty
tell
of
you I was sitting down.
There are plenty of other places to sit, you know? Yeah, that's true, but I just wanted to talk to you. Everyone else is occupied and I didn't want to barge in on their conversations. I'm not really in a talking mood. That's because you're blaming yourself for Clyde's death, right? That's... what do you know? I'm just judging based on what I see in your eyes. What are you talking about? Your eyes. You know, the eyes are the window to the soul. When I look into your eyes, I see regret, guilt, pain. And since you've been a bit touching on the subject of Clyde, I figured that you might have felt responsible for his own death or something. Congrats, detective, you figured it out. Now, can we not talk about this? I really don't want to break down again in front of even more people. Well, I'll leave you alone after I just asked one more question. How did Clyde feel? How did he feel? Yeah, like, was he happy that you survived, or did he not know? Was he angry? Upset?
What the fuck kind of question is that?
He gave his life up for mine. He was scared, and we were both crying, and it just... I want to think that he was at least happy knowing that I lived. That he had some sense of peace, but... I don't know. I don't know Clyde like you do, but if he was willing to give his life up for you, I'd think that he wouldn't want you to be blaming yourself for his death. That's just my 2 cents. Though, you've probably heard it over and over again at this point. I don't get it. Get what? Why is everyone bothering to help me or try to cheer me up? Only one person can survive this game, right? Wouldn't people be happier knowing that I'd be just some blubbering emotional mess? Well, there's more to this than just surviving and winning, right? No?
Is there?
What's the point of anything here if we're just gonna die? We all die eventually. Does that make our lives pointless? That's not what I mean, and you know it. I mean, here, right in this stupid dumb game. All this kindness isn't gonna matter in an hour or so. I respectfully disagree, but give it some thought at least. People here are being kind because they think it will last. I mean, do you think that I'd come here as my dad if I thought that we'd just end up killing one another? Or that Kishi and Zeph would? What are you saying? Just something that you should think about, and maybe it'll make things easier for you here. Anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about.
It's gonna be like on RuPaul's Drag Race where they vote for a miscongeniality and who gets to live.
Oh my god. Yeah, RuPaul's Drag Race where they famously kill each other with hammers.
Honestly, that's kind of what Dragula is.
I hope that you stop blaming yourself soon. It's not good for your heart or mind. Or your eyes. Richard stood up and walked over towards the kitchenette, leaving me alone once again. But at least this time my mind had other things to think about. What was he implying? Was there some trick or secret about this place? No sane person would bring a person they loved or cared for here if they knew the consequence of these games. And yet, for some reason, in the back of my mind, I felt a dull sense of truth.
Yet for
in what
some
he was
reason,
saying.
all these bitches brought people they care about.
Yeah. Like I had heard something before, but I couldn't place my mind on it. A glimmer of hope flickered in my chest. I don't know what it meant, or what exactly I was hoping for, but I knew that I couldn't give up. As much as I wanted to just lay down and die, another part was fighting for me to get up and keep going. I wasn't sure which side was winning yet, but right now, I didn't feel like just lounging around anymore. I stood up and looked over to the others that were having their own conversation. I thought about joining up with them just to help me get my bearing and maybe ask a few questions. But before that could happen, the door to the lounge opened up once again.
Tevin said, fuck it, we ball.
Lara, Elizabeth, and William marched inside. Aw, man, did the other hat lady die?
It do seem like we're lacking a hat lady. Woohoo! Who is the speedrun champion? It's Mr. Rattail. That's right, it's me.
Technically, it's us, not just you.
Semantics. We all know the reason we got through that game so fast was because of me. You're the last people.
No, there's one more group, right?
I don't know, Marn. I
was-
don't do math.
I thought it was like 4 groups of 4, and then like 4 people die out of those 4 groups.
Wasn't that the 4th group? Cause it's oh no, you're right. There's too many people. I can't count. Not at all. It didn't take us even 5 minutes to get through the game. I'm just that good. So you say.
Philip looked at Lara, who seemed more sullen than the rest of her group. Probably because Lilith was dead, or she was taking her sweet time walking into the lounge.
So this is it then? Clyde, Lilith, Grant, and Jade are all dead, which means that inevitably the last group shouldn't have any deaths. Is that how...
Yeah,
I feel like I need like a running commentary on the side that's like doing the math for me.
Yeah, because I think they said it last time there was like gonna be a group with like 1 death and like 1 with 2 deaths and another one that could have like up to 3 deaths or something like that. Because we were joking about it being Mario Party.
Oh yeah. It probably would also help if I like remembered the rules of the game. That's Everett, Maria, Teresa, and Alphonse, right? Alphonse!
Alphonse! Guy who has just watched a lot of Fullmetal Alchemist. Talk about a lucky break. They get to wait for the last door and then don't have to actually play anything.
Is that how it works? That's the advantage of taking the last door. Well, there's also a risk, but it's not really all that big of a risk early on. I don't remember any of the rules. What is? I don't remember. I thought everybody had to play death games. Wait, is there, Marn? Is there like a rules?
Hold on.
Is there like a
History log? I don't think so.
Wait. What's the little? Oh, that's the history log kid.
Yeah.
Like that. Never mind. Well,
Philip clapped his hands together and drew all our attention.
So, since we know what our next grouping is going to be, should we get started or organize what doors we'll be going through for the second round?
Shouldn't we wait for the other group first?
Oh, well, we're not deciding on the group completely, but it doesn't hurt to get things figured out. Preferences and things like that. You know, tops, bottoms, that kind of thing. I don't mind going in the first group. It'll make things easier for everyone down the line, right? I guess. Jesus, if I just die, then less people have to worry about dying in their own games, right?
Oh man. You want to die?
What's the point? I'm not going to be able to survive without Lilith around. Struggling is futile. Oh, come now. You can't let yourself become overwhelmed with despair just like that. Shut up. You don't understand what happened. Why do you even care?
It was like looking into a mirror. I didn't even know what Lara had to go through, but I could understand the pain she was in. It was easy to just give up, end it all, and not make any hassle for anyone else. Hey, chat, do you know, like, so few people on this network have actually played or, like, know the spoilers of what happens in Danganronpa? It's fucking absurd to me.
Yeah, it's wild how few Danganronpa kids there are.
Once we finish Your Turn to Die, I'm gonna make a bunch of people play Danganronpa. The amount of people on this network who have been like, I don't know who Komaida is to me, is, like, fucking crazy.
Well, to be fair to them, Komaida is in 2, which I feel like is, like, an even, like, I feel like that's an even further bridge, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta get people, like, through so much of a door already.
It's true, but, like, I like 2 better than 1.
I also like 2 better than 1.
I like the characters in 2 better.
Yeah, I like 2 better than 1, but like you don't get that investment, you know.
That's true.
You also don't get like how fucking weird the second one is, like the setting is, if you
Yeah.
haven't played the first one.
Yeah. Have you watched the Danganronpa 3 anime where like half of it is a prequel and
Yeah,
half of it is
I have.
a sequel? Oh, it's so good.
Marn, I've done all the Danganronpas, everything.
So good.
If it's a Danganronpa, I've done it. I have uppercutcrit.com. I have a whole podcast with Kenneth Shepard about all the Danganronpas.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that you did that. Holy shit.
Yep. We did the anime too.
Oh my god. I haven't watched like the anime adaptation of the game. I've only watched the like sequel prequel anime.
Yeah, I've only watched the one that like actually is like plot relevant. I haven't watched the. I don't need to watch an anime adaptation of a game I've played like 4 times.
Yeah, exactly. They also did like an OVA that was like just like Komaida has a special day out or something. I haven't watched it. I just like have seen the trailer.
We can't keep talking about Dan.
The problem was I didn't know what to tell her to make her feel better. I didn't know any encouraging words or anecdotes to embolden her to press on. I just barely
What anecdote
managed.
do you whip out? Like, what kind of Ted Lasso ass motherfucker are you right now that you're like, well, when I was a kid?
I just barely managed to get myself out of that rut after 3 different people talked to me. Maybe she can get that help from the others like I did.
Were they helpful? I feel like you were just mad at them.
Yeah, I feel like they were like, hey, we're trying to help you. And Devin
And you were
was
like, fuck off, I'm
"Fuck
sad.
you, dude."
Yeah. That's fine by me. Personally, I don't really care where I end up. The champ will end up winning all this anyway.
Sure thing, chump. Maybe that attitude will get you somewhere in life, but it won't get you anywhere here.
You're just saying that because you haven't seen my amazing skills in action yet. You'd be quivering in your boots if you had to deal with my amazing intellect and stellar strength.
I love how he got someone killed and was like, damn, I'm the best at this game. Fucking speedrun. Unless you're hiding muscles under that sweatshirt, I'm not really convinced. But I know people that have actual strength don't go touting it around like they're king of the world. Sounds to me like you're just trying to prove something.
Really? Want to put your money where your mouth is? Why don't you get into a game with me? You'll get a chance to see my amazing skill in action.
That sounds like a real hassle. I'll let you go and get killed by someone else.
Sounds like you're just chicken.
Whatever you say, dude. Before the discussion could continue, we heard the sound of the door to the lounge opening again. Not that there'd be any surprises for who'd be coming through it.
Oh, I forgot. Speaking of fucking Danganronpa, this Kyoko-looking bitch.
Heyo, everyone! Maria cheered as she entered the lounge first. Everett, Teresa, and Alphonse weren't far behind her. Like everyone else, they started off by looking at each of us and seeing who was there and who wasn't.
Perfect timing. We were just deciding what groups we were going to put people in for the next round. You didn't wait for us? Well, we weren't finalizing anything until you got here. We were just getting some ideas, not that we really got anything concrete.
What have you got so far?
Well, Laura wants to go into the first door, and that's about as far as we got. Philip's like, yeah, we've been organizing all this. And then it's like one person who basically said, I just want to die.
Yeah. Really? Alphonse turned to Lara, who was starting her weights off from the group. You want to go through the first door? Why? Momo, what's
What
up?
does it matter to you?
Well, I can't help
That
but
Momo?
Yeah, can you hear her?
Yeah, she said, wow.
Hi! Yeah, she's right underneath me. Well, I can't help but notice that your sister is gone. So, I'm guessing that she died in your game, and now you're thinking that you just want to go off and die. You can't handle the pressure of doing this alone. That sound about right?
And so what if it is?
Momo, what do you want?
Momo said, bah!
Then I suggest you take some time to breathe and think things over before you screw yourself. You've been through a lot here already, and you're not thinking straight. Give yourself some time to cool off before you go and decide to end your life, thinking that it's not worth living anymore.
What do you know? Am I just supposed to suffer through this in hopes that I might be able to survive somehow? I can't.
You can. You just need some time to cool off and think things through.
I understand the sentiment that you're trying to pass on to her, but she's free to make her own choice. Everett said, let this woman die in peace. Sometimes you only prolong someone's suffering by letting them think things over for extended periods of time.
Well, that's just my advice. If she still feels the same way after some time has passed, then she can do whatever she wants.
I was like, I'm just suggesting that she think about it before she tries to kill herself.
I just figured that it would be worth it for her to think things over.
How kind of you. Then perhaps you should be willing to enter the first door on her behalf.
That's fine with me.
Okay. And if you're fine with it, I'd be happy to join you, gay.
Gay.
I'm sure Teresa would be too.
You're really trying to stick to me like glue.
Tell me about it. Well, we've all made it out so far. Why bother changing things? Oh, that's so me. Maria, are you okay with coming along with us?
Nah, not really.
Huh?
I'd rather stick with Laura. It's like you said, she needs someone to talk to right now, doesn't she? I'm great at pep talks.
I see. Well, we'd still need someone to come along with us for the first door in that case.
I'll join, if only so that we don't stall any longer.
Wait, so do they still have to do... Never mind, I'm not gonna ask. I'm not gonna ask math questions.
I think it's
All
just,
the oldies getting together.
I think it's just 4 people are supposed to get eliminated every round.
That's it. Yeah, I was just thinking, like, the number of doors has to go down each time, though, right? Because
Yes.
there's, like, the number
Yeah.
of people goes down.
So I think there's 3 doors now, and then it'll
Okay.
be 2.
I'm not old, you little brat. Yeah, and you're forgetting about me. I love films like, yeah, I'm actually old, bitch, and I'm not going through there, so fuck you. Yeah, whatever. We've got a group on the first door. Who's going through the second one?
I wish I had my Momo cam set up, because she's going absolutely fucking silly mode right next to me.
Me when I'm too high and can't move.
She has a catnip toy that like dangles off the chair that sits next to my streaming chair, and she will just like come over and beat the shit out of it.
That should be the Affect Your Life goal, is just a permanent Momo cam.
I have one. I literally bought a webcam so that I can put a camera on her while I'm streaming.
Momo GoPro.
I just I cleaned up this whole room recently and I have no fucking idea where I put it, so I gotta find it. I'm fine heading through it. Kishi,
Get her a GoPro.
Kishi, you alright going with me?
That depends. Devin, are you gonna end up joining Laura and Maria?
What? Why are you asking me?
MoPro.
MoPro.
Well, you and Laura are the only people who don't have their partners with them. I figured that you two would end up joining together, and with Maria joining Laura, that'd make 3. And if you're okay with it, I'd like to join that group as well.
Why?
Well, the alternatives leave me with Richard, Philip, and William. And no offense, but I really don't want to deal with them if I don't have to. I'm taken. You're lost.
I'm used to it. Wait, that would mean I'd have to deal with them then.
You're tough. I'm sure you can handle them well enough.
Zeph rolled his eyes. Even if it's true, it's still gonna be annoying. But that's fine with me if it's fine with all of you. Yeah, we should totally join a group together. We'll be one big group of happy, healing, and positivity. Well, it's hard to say no when you're all rooting for that solution. So why not?
Cool. Then the second group will be Zeph, William, Philip, and Richard. Well, look at that, Zeph. You're gonna get a chance to see my amazing skill up close and personal.
Oh wow, I can't wait.
Great. Glad to see we figured out our solution so easily. I love Richard. Richard's a vibe.
He's not convinced.
I feel like Richard is the only normal person.
I agree.
I'm like trying to make him seem super weird, and he's just like, gosh.
He's just a normal man.
He's just an innocent man. Alright, then if we've got all that figured out, we'll go through the first door. Wish us luck and good fortune. Ooh.
See ya, Al. Kick some ass. Alphonse gave a little thumbs up to Maria before walking along with the others through the first door.
Isn't Alphonse like a gangster or something? And like Maria's like a CrossFit instructor?
Yeah, I forget what his deal is, but yeah, she's like an athlete of some sort. She's like a personal trainer, I think. Wait, hold on. We got the character profiles.
Oh,
He's a private investigator.
private investigator. Wait, what is fucking what's her face? Because I want to say she's like an MMA fighter or something stupid because she's really tiny.
She's
No,
a personal
trainer. You're right. She just seems very small.
She does seem very small for a personal trainer.
And just like that, they were gone. Phew, I lucked out there. I did not want to have to go and play a game against Alphonse or Everett. Too strong. They could probably grind me into bone dust if it was some physical competition. I'm changing my name on alt to Bone Dust.
Bone
One
Dust.
word. One word. Bone Dust. Hey, you're not out of the woods yet. You'll still have to deal with me, you know. Ah, right. Surely you'll probably do me a lot of damage if I'm not careful.
Don't inflate
Were you
his
expecting
ego.
like arm wrestling?
Yeah. Yeah, the last
Inflate.
challenge was not a fucking physical
Yeah,
challenge.
the last challenge was decide who gets fucking fucked up. Inflate. how could I possibly inflate something that's already so grand and self-assured? Besides, he's Elizabeth's student. For all his bluster, he's probably got some skills going on for him. Oh yeah, aren't he and Elizabeth like magic-y bitches? Like the
Yeah.
cult folks? Damn right.
Well, that'll just make it all the more interesting when he comes crashing down. With those three having a conversation of their own, I moved over towards Kishi, Lara, and Maria. The three were talking among themselves, with Maria speaking enthusiastically to Lara, who was at least attempting to hear her out. Hey. Hey, Devin. Come to join our strategy meeting? Strategy meeting? What kind of strategy are you thinking up? Just a way to cheer you and Lara up. Losing someone close to you ain't something that you can bounce back easily from, but there are ways to at least prep your mind up and help move through those feelings. At least in the short term, that is. So what's the game plan? The game plan is a simple one. We're gonna rile up Lara's spirit. And yours too, if you're up for it.
What?
And how exactly do you plan to do that? Exercise. It'll be good to get our blood pumping a little and prepare for whatever's gonna happen inside. Doesn't matter if it's a physical or a mental challenge. What's important is that you get those endorphins pumping.
You know what I bet will get the endorphins pumping is a death game.
That's what will naturally make you feel good. That's not wrong, I guess. Don't knock it till you try it. It ain't
She literally just said you're right.
Yeah, it ain't a fix-all, but you'll at least feel a burst of good energy.
She's not wrong, but she's not wrong. What? But can we at least give it a try? So what exactly do you have in mind? This little hat lady is gonna do jumping jacks?
Yeah. Something
See?
simple and short.
See?
Some jumping jacks, burpees, shoulder taps, and forward lunges.
This woman is in a dress, and you're gonna make her do burpees?
I think that Maria is trying to get them tired before the next round so that she can win. That's my game theory.
She's in like a gown.
I think
She's in like
Maria's
she's like a dress ass dress, and Maria's like, you know what's a great exercise to do in your outfit? Burpees.
We'll go for
Just
about 10
full
minutes.
body motion, lots of jumping.
Shifting between exercise every minute or so. Oh, well, I'm not really in workout clothing. I don't want to get super sweaty in this jacket, or these jeans.
The shoes, Laura? The shoes are the issue?
Yeah, you know.
And I don't really have the shoes needed to work out. You don't have anything! Also, aren't we gonna sweat a lot?
Well, Devin, you can take off your jacket. Laura, we don't need any sneakers or such to do these workouts. If you want, just go barefoot. The floor's probably clean.
I just really feel like the shoes are not the main issue.
Yeah. I can't really help out much with the sweating part, but maybe Belle will freshen us up before the game. Yeah, Why can't they just ask Belle for workout clothes?
Also, why can't you just do like 10 jumping jacks and call it good?
Yeah.
Why do you have to do a 10-minute circuit?
But before we can do any of that, let's just get into some basic stretches. So here's how we'll start. Maria began to show some example stretches for each of us to do. It wasn't easy, especially since I hadn't worked out in quite a while. And she was eager to give each of us a helping hand to make sure that we were stretching in the appropriate way. Try lowering your knee a little more. I'm trying. Too much, too much! Try and hold that position for 5 seconds. I'm gonna split in half before I do. It was painful, but at least it was fleeting, and more importantly, I wasn't alone in the suffering. Remember to breathe. It'll relax your muscles and make things easier with each breath.
It's really hard.
Straighten your legs out, Laura. Yeah, just like that.
It hurts so much more.
Don't worry, just a few more seconds, and done. Kishi seemed to be the only one of the two of us that was handling the stretching relatively well. That wasn't to say that she was having her own difficulties, though. Getting them ready to work out? Yep, gotta start them off with some stretches. True. We don't want to spray anything. Come on, Kishi, you could go lower than that. I've seen how you rock out at the club, so this should be a breeze for you. Or are you just being conservative now that you're not on stage?
Zeph.
Zeph snickered as Maria pushed him away, but the damage had already been done. Kishi was covering her face from embarrassment and had fallen onto the ground. We all laughed a little bit in the moment while we finished up our stretches. Alright.
Just falls down, just lies on the ground.
Now that we're all warmed up, let's get started. That was just the warm-up? I feel like my insides are gonna burst.
Can't we at least take a bit of a break?
Sure, you can get a minute. After that, we'll get into the workout. Can't let our muscles cool down too much. I groaned as I could only imagine the pain my muscles were about to be in. This is too real. After a very brief break, Maria quickly demonstrated each exercise and explained how we rotate through each one with a few breaks in between. Remember that you don't have to go at my pace or anyone else's pace. It's gonna burn, but it shouldn't hurt too much. That was easy for her to say. She made everything look effortless. Not that I was trying to match her tempo through the exercises. But even going at my own pace was tough as hell. I was out of breath quickly, and every passing minute seemed like a struggle. Keep at it, Devin. We're halfway there. We're only halfway?
This isn't so bad, actually. I could probably go twice as long.
Don't say that. We're not all in the same shape as you.
I don't think I could go that long. Ugh, but my muscles are already on fire.
Each second that passes is another second of triumph. Keep breathing and keep moving. As much as I wanted to quit, I endured, going from exercise to exercise, just trying to keep up with Maria and the others. And time. Lara and I both collapsed onto the ground, breathing heavily after our brief workout. That was hell.
I used to be really good at this. I really gotta work out more.
What matters is that you did it. Maria gave each of us a pat on the shoulder and sat down beside us. Now we've got to do some cooldown stretches. Both Lara and I groaned as Maria showed us how to properly stretch out our already sore muscles. After a few more minutes of torment, we were finally free from the pain. And that's it! Now how do you all feel? Like death.
Sore. Sweaty.
All are valid, but what's important is you toughed it out. I grabbed something for you. Maria got up and walked over towards the kitchenette, while the rest of us continued to recover. That was a nice show you all put on.
Yes, you all were giving it your all. I could have done everything they did and more, and also like 10 times faster.
I'd like to see you try.
Could you stop gawking at us like some touch-starved high schooler? What? I was giving some genuine praise here. You looked like you were really giving it a great effort.
Maybe you should have joined us, and then you could have gotten some praise too.
Well, my old bones probably can't keep up with you all. This man is acting like he's like 100.
Yeah, but you could have given a great effort.
Haha, yeah, I suppose you've got a point.
Maria came back with some cups for each of us. Drink up, and try to keep moving, even if it's just pacing around a little bit. Sure. I stood up and took the cup out of Maria's hand. I thought that it was water, but when I let the drink touch my lips, I recoiled at the salty taste. What is this? It's sparkling pickle juice. It's a good recovery drink. I drink it all the time.
Why is it sparkling?
Plus, I think it tastes delicious.
No, why is it sparkling?
Where did you get pickle juice from? It's sparkling? What the heck is that? There was a jar of pickles in the fridge. I just poured some of it into a glass and mixed it with some seltzer water.
What?
This is horrible. Hang on, I am actually gonna go get a soda. A regular soda.
Marn, it's upsetting that you heard about that drink and we're like, you know what I need is a little drinky of my
I'm really
own.
thirsty. I've been eating French fries.
Like, Listen, to be fair, chat, like, if you get a cramp or something, you actually can drink pickle juice and it, like, helps. But, like, I would never want it to be, like, fizzy. That's fucking gross. Why would you do that? Why would you want it to be fizzy?
Mixing pickle juice with seltzer water is crazy.
Yeah, it seems bad.
When she said it was salty, I was like, oh, Gatorade? Like,
yeah, I thought, yeah. Like, I get drinking pickle juice for, like, cramps or whatever, but not, why you gotta make it bubbly?
helps dilute the taste a little bit. Trust me, it's good to make sure you get your electrolytes back into your body. Just drink Gatorade!
Also, just only have a little sippy. Like, if you don't want to just have it taste, just take a little sippy. One.
I looked down at the drink and sighed before gulping it down quickly. Blech. Alright, and now we're all done. Now how do you feel? A little better, right?
A little, I guess.
My body aches, I've got pickle taste in my mouth, and I feel a burning sensation in my legs when I walk. But, yeah, I feel a little better. See, it's a net gain! That's what you call a net gain? Pain is temporary. The feeling of success and accomplishment lasts forever. So is the rush from endorphins. Don't worry about the details. Still, I get it. As long as you don't stay down, you can always get back up. That's the hardest part, ain't it? Exactly. Fighting through the pain but getting back up, that's real strength. She looked over to me and Lara. And I'm sure that these two get that, right? Yeah.
Of course.
Seems you still got a bit of work cut out for you. As the conversation waned, Philip walked over towards us and pointed towards the doors leading to the game rooms.
I hate to break this up, but the second door just opened. We've got to get a move on.
Alright, guess we're gonna get going. See you on the other side, babe.
Good luck and good fortune, Zeph. Yeah, you're gonna need it to take me down.
Why the hell do I have to deal with this guy? Richard, Philip, William, and Zeph left to go through the second door and to deal with their own game, leaving the four of us alone. Well, the good thing about this is that we'll get some more time to cool down and relax.
Yeah, that's nice.
I meant what I said, though. Resilience is the most important thing when it comes to overcoming hardship. Whether that's physical pain or emotional pain. You're a personal trainer. That's all you do, isn't it? Just coaching people through the physical pain that they're going through. Well, sorta, but there's more to it than that. Being a personal trainer is about building up confidence and helping people achieve their goals. We're their rock, their support, the person that pushes them when they think they're not good enough. The hardest part is usually getting someone over the first hump. That initial pain in the urge to retreat back into something comfortable, or to quit early. Once you get them over that first hump, it gets easier. In a lot of ways, you can apply that to the game too, right? You think so? Sure, the hard part is getting over the initial shock. The fear, the anger, the sorrow. You want to break down, give up, throw the towel. That's the easy way out after all. But if you can persevere and get through that, then you can get through anything. If only it were as easy as having enough resilience. This place isn't just working out at the gym and being able to do a push-up when your arms are killing you. This is getting over grief when someone you know dies. That's true. I don't mean to say that they're the same thing at all. Maria looked over towards the closed doors before turning back to you. This is just how I deal with things. I like trying to find a solution, or just find ways to help people feel better. I guess that people just need someone else to listen and to empathize. Sorry if that's not exactly what I'm giving.
How about we just talk about how we feel then? Ew.
Ew. Oh, that's you.
Just to get things off your chest. It's only the four of us. We'll keep this between us ladies. Chances are that we'll be taking these things to the grave after all. Jesus,
Damn.
Kishi.
That's morbid, but I like the idea. If the workout didn't use your soul, maybe a little heart-to-heart will.
I guess it couldn't hurt.
Can't hurt more than the workout that Maria put us through. We all walked over to the couch to get comfortable, and all sat down.
So who wants to go first?
Well, it's gotta be between Devin and Laura, right? They're the ones that have lost the most so far, haven't they?
I'll go first, just so we don't have to dance around the subject.
She took a deep breath and folded her fingers together in an attempt to compose herself.
In the last game, Lilith died, and I just felt like everything in my soul got sapped away. I feel like it's my fault that she's dead. I roped her into this because I wanted to help my daughter. I didn't know that it would be this deadly or scary. I wasn't told things would get this bad.
Wait, what were you told exactly?
Who is on the Moonshot chat?
Oh, it's me.
Okay, I was like, I like the idea of just Riley just like coming in, not saying anything, then just theorizing.
Andrew does that sometimes.
I was told that all I'd have to do was wish for someone to die and I'd get a lot of money. Jesus Christ. I thought that it was just a joke. They mostly talked about how this amazing treatment would cure nearly any disease. Obviously, they weren't very specific about it. They just told me I'd be informed about it more when I got here. I didn't want to do it. I didn't even know if this treatment would work. It was obviously sketchy. It wasn't reliable. But I was desperate. Traditional treatments weren't working. It was making my daughter exhausted and miserable, and the medical debts just kept piling up, so I hid that part from Lilith. I never told her I got asked to make a wish. I was sure she wouldn't go through with it if I said so. And now that she's dead, I feel like such an idiot. Of course, this was too good to be true. I'm always getting myself into stupid situations, and Lilith always has to bail me out. It's been like this since I was a child, and nothing's changed in all these years. And now she's dead. It's all my fault. She told me to be strong, and that even if she died, that as long as I made it out, it'd be fine. But I can't do it. I just can't. And I feel terrible that I won't be able to at least be strong for her. All I'll have left to remember her by is her hat. But the only thing it reminds me of is how much of who I am.
All I have left of her is her hat. They do show ages. Lara is 32. Lilith was also 32. I guess they were twins.
Hat.
All I have left of her is her hat.
A hollow-headed fool, not the years of memories of life together as sisters, but just her hat.
Lara. Maria scooted over towards Lara and embraced her in a tight hug. It was enough to get Lara to start crying. It's not your fault, okay? You're not responsible for her death. And you're not some failure just because you don't think you can burden the expectations of surviving all this. While Maria was continuing to comfort Lara as she wept, Kishi's eyes narrowed, and she seemed more suspicious and concerned for Lara's mental state. When she noticed that I was
said,
looking,
"Oh well."
She turned her head away. Lara almost got eaten by a snake back in the beginning, but she's fine.
Oh yeah. Yeah, don't blame yourself. Your sister, she cares a lot about you, right?
Laura weakly nodded her head as she continued to cry.
Then that's all you need. A belief that they're still rooting for you. It doesn't matter if you think that you're weak and can't do it. Hell, it doesn't even matter if you know you'll end up dying here. Jesus. You can't let yourself be overwhelmed thinking that you're doomed. You just have to take things step by step. Your sister's still with you.
Kishi looked over to me.
Same goes for you. Quiet's not gone. Not really, anyway.
What do you mean by that?
Don't you feel it? A feeling in your heart, or maybe in the back of your brain?
Kishi is trying so hard to drop hints that nobody actually dies in this game.
I just feel like Kishi's doing like the Rihanna meme.
Yeah.
Like, she's just like waving her fingers around and being like, you know, people aren't really dead. Some part of them still lives on in you. Maybe it's their hope that you survive or their encouragement pushing you forward. Some part lives on in us. She's like aggressively winking.
Yeah. Kishi's like, don't you feel like maybe they're still alive? A little bit?
Don't you maybe feel like I'm talking about them in the present tense? As if they are still alive? I guess that sounds more like spiritual nonsense than actual encouragement. But it might help, especially here. No, it helps. It helps a lot. Some part of her lives on in me. Laura completely does not understand what Kishi's trying to say at all.
That's right, Lara. You and Lilith can get through this together if you don't give up.
Yeah, just maybe.
It seemed like Kishi's words were enough to at least push Lara's confidence up to the point where she stopped crying. She wiped her eyes and sat with her head held high. There was still sorrow in her eyes, but there was a glint of something else. Determination, drive, and hope. With Lara having finished letting out her emotions and woes, naturally the attention turned to me. And I wasn't too keen on having 3 pairs of eyes trying to pry out the inner depths of my heart, even if they had good intentions. So, Devin, how are you holding up? You haven't cried yet, unless you did before I got the chance to see you.
What a creepy thing to say!
I was sure that Kishi was going to speak up again. After all, she was there when I broke out into tears in a guilt-filled rage. She seemed to respect my autonomy, deciding to keep silent unless I brought up the specifics. I had a really bad reaction to my game. In our game, it was between Clyde and I, and when it came down to it, he decided to die so that I could live. Afterwards, I blamed myself for his death, and I lashed out. Truthfully, I still do blame myself. There wasn't really another option for us. But my voice weakened as I remembered the exact words I said to Kishi during my outrage. My life didn't matter. Hearing it out loud again sounds ridiculous. Of course my life matters. And yet, at the same time, at that moment, it felt right. It felt like my life really didn't matter compared to his. I just thought that if anyone were to live between the two of us, the world would just be a better place if he were there and I wasn't. Because I'm just a failure. Because I'm worthless. Because my life is worthless. The lingering silence around me in the line-eyed room made me nervous. Why were they all looking at me like that?
Because you just dropped an atomic bomb.
Yeah. Did I say that out loud?
Yes, you did.
Fuck. Oh my god, shit! My body began to heat up from embarrassment and shame. I covered my mouth and curled up into a ball on the couch. I'm so damn stupid. I just wanted to crawl under a rock and die. Hey, don't be ashamed of saying what you said. takes real courage to speak up from the heart. Maybe you even said it without thinking because you knew you had to say it. Because you wanted someone to hear it. And to have someone tell you that you're wrong. Because it is. Ugh. I didn't have the strength to protest. I was so clamping my mouth shut, afraid that I was going to say something stupid and revealing again. Your life is as valuable as anyone's here. And besides, you said that Clyde chose to save your life over his. That means he thinks there's value in your life. I know that, but even so, I clutched my head, trying to find the best way to explain how I truly felt. But I couldn't. My throat tightened, and I struggled to even think and breathe.
Cool it, Maria.
Huh? But I'm just trying to give her some encouragement.
And I'm sure that Devin appreciates it. But we're here to just listen to Devin, not offer solutions. Sometimes people just want to be heard, to be understood.
Oh, right. Sorry. Guess I was trying to solve things again.
It's okay, let's just listen to what she's got to say is all. That is, if she wants to talk any more about it. She kind of did just splurge out more than she probably intended to after all.
Relief washed over me and my muscles relaxed. I was able to let out a deep breath and get control over my thoughts once more. Right. As I was saying, I just felt inadequate. It's been an issue in my life for a while. I always got compared to my older brother. He was the star child of our family. He was a nice guy, really. I didn't hate him or anything. He was just so damn perfect. Great personality, smart, could do no wrong. When you're always getting compared to him, when you never get your own achievements recognized, you just start to wonder if there's any point. I mean, we even have the same birthday. Sometimes it just feels like I could disappear off the face of the earth and no one would notice. No one would care. Nothing would change. And it's depressing. So when Clyde had the option to either save himself or save me, for a moment I just felt like maybe I could make a difference if I just died. Maybe he'd be able to go and do some simple good in the world if he could survive. When he saved my life, I just thought that I'd pressured him somehow into doing it. Now that he's gone, I just worry about everything. What are his parents gonna think? What about his other friends or family that will miss him? Why did he give his life up for someone like me? I'm not worth saving. I don't matter. I'm just worthless.
Girl.
I shivered. I felt that pang of pain and sadness rack over my body again. I hated feeling like this. Hated feeling so damn pathetic and hopeless. I wiped my hand over my eyes instinctively. I always ended up crying whenever I felt this way. But it felt right. It felt good. Just to get everything out there in the open. After all, chances were that I wasn't going to survive all this anyway. Chances were that none of them were either. So what harm was there in airing everything out? I brought my arm up to my eyes again and tried to stem the flow of tears running down my face. But as I did, I felt a warm hand on mine. I pulled my arm down to see Lara holding my hand in her own, tears rolling down her own face. What are you...
I just felt that I had to do this. It just felt right. It's not the same, but I think I can understand how you feel.
I wasn't sure what to say. I figured that they'd be somewhat sympathetic, but I didn't think that they'd start crying. I almost felt ashamed that they were all getting emotional over it. Before that feeling could overwhelm me, Maria sat down next to me and wrapped her arm around my shoulders. She said nothing, but her actions spoke louder than any words of comfort or encouragement could. And finally, Keisha joined in, sitting on the other side of me and rubbing my other shoulder. They all were trying to comfort me. Just a bunch of strangers trying to comfort one another. Even if we were all marching toward our own death. Wow, love wins. A sense of solidarity and warmth. I wish that I could enjoy this moment forever. But time continued to march forward, and the moment was cut short when we heard the sound of a door opening. The third door, calling us over to play another game.
Fine. I feel much better. How do you feel, Devin?
I feel better. I don't think I've cried like that in a while. Or confessed a whole bunch of dark feelings to a bunch of random strangers, either.
Well, you're joking around, so that's a good sign. As long as it's not too self-deprecating, I think I'll enjoy a bit of humor every once in a while.
I feel like it's worth remembering that they like fucking went into this portal at like 6 o'clock in the morning and no one here has gotten any sleep.
Oh, that's a good point.
Right. This is the kind of positive development that we need. With this, we'll definitely crush the last game, whatever it happens to be.
Yeah, it'll work out somehow.
With a new sense of shaky hope, we walk through the last open door. These guys need like a nap.
Mm-hmm.
And when it closed behind us, we waited to see what the fates had in store for us.
You think that Belle's going to give us something simple?
Maybe, but it doesn't really matter whether the game is simple or not. What matters is what kind of game it is.
I'm not too worried about that. Chances are that we'll at worst have a game where one of us has to die.
Yeah, it does explain why Devin isn't like picking up on the obvious hints that like the deaths aren't permanent. Like, she has been awake for fully 24 hours.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm actually curious to see where we are on the flowchart. Okay, we're still here. So we're headed towards like one of two possible ending tracks, it looks like.
There's so much game.
I know. Like, this is Clyde or Devin dying, and this is,
The splitting up, right?
this is, which game? So, like, there was another game that we could have gone to with Devin, and this is the splitting up. So I think, like, I think this is, like, you follow, like, we will follow one of the characters if they split up. And it goes down a bunch of these routes. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. How can you be confident in that?
Well, the odds that 3 people have died in previous games is pretty high, I'd say. Belle can't kill more than 4 people per round, so if 3 people are dead, then all that can happen here is that one person can die.
Yeah, I wonder what the remaining choices in this path. I assume it's either like we're gonna have to partner up with someone else or we're gonna have to kill someone.
I think we're gonna romantically steal Kishi from Zach. Not that we're guaranteed that, but that's the advantage of going in the last door. Lilith said something earlier when we went through the third door during the first round. When you consider the kinds of games that you have to play where there are... Oh my god, okay. When you consider the kinds of games that you have to play, there are a lot of chances for more than one person to die. And it's very rare that no one dies in any particular game unless you go through a later door.
I thought back to my own game. It was a 1 versus 3. Surely Clyde only ended up dying permanently from that, but if he had won, then 3 people would have been dead. Oh, you know, hold on. I bet, so this, hold on. So this choice is if you save yourself and save Devin. So I bet in the route where you save yourself, literally no one else dies, and there's different pairs for, like, the second game. Or only one other person dies, and then there's, like, different groups for the second game.
That would make sense.
Interesting. The other games would have only allowed for a single person to die, and any games after that would have meant that no one could die. If that's how the math worked out, then why didn't more people want to go into the last door this time around?
Well, there's also a bit of a risk. If no one's dead by the time you get to the last door, then the people who go through that door will all have to die. The chances of that happening are pretty low, especially if there are more doors at the start. Imagine if we had 100 doors and 400 people participating in this. The odds that by the time you got to the last door no one had died seems pretty low, right? Apply the same logic here. The less doors that are available, the more likely it is that no one will be dead by the time the last game starts. So the idea of it being a safe pit goes down.
Huh. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. An excellent summary of my rules, Kishi. I'm glad that you're paying attention. Belle appeared on the television screen and gleefully clapped her hands. But some would say that it's a risk worth taking. Who knows? You might get a special game that's completely harmless just for you.
That's why you're here, right? To tell us whether or not we get such a game?
I leave that up to chance. Let's see what the roulette says. What kind of game will you play?
Mario Party time!
Yeah. Belle's face disappeared and we were met with a roulette of options. My heart palpitated each time the screen flashed and showed the 1 versus 3. I just wasn't ready. I wasn't prepared to go through that again. I prayed, anything but that game mode again. Anything but that. Aha! Here's what we're going to play. I cautiously glanced at the screen. It seemed that my prayers had been answered. Ooh, 1v1v1v1. We're playing a 4-player dilemma game, and I think I've got the perfect one for you. We'll be playing Take a Hike. Rude. If you wanted us to go, you could say it nicer. No, the game is called Take a Hike. And it's a wonderfully simple game.
I hope that all you have to do is actually take a hike.
Yep, that's basically it. You'll be hiking through a nice trail that I've made for you. But you'll be hiking to a few tents, which is important because this nature walk you'll be taking will have a few dangerous hazards you'll need to watch out for. So we're hiking to some tents, and then what? Once you get to a tent, you'll vote on who gets to stay in the tent. Think of the tent as a safe zone. If you get one, you'll be safe forever, and you'll be essentially done with the game. These tents can only hold one person, so make sure you're certain of who gets to stay at each tent. So we hike to a tent, and then we pick whoever gets to stay at a tent, and then we hike some more. That sounds kind of like we're voting on who gets to live. Well, that's one way to put it.
So what happens if you get to stay in one of the tents? Do you just get sent over to the lounge, or does something else happen?
You'll stay there for a while. After all, you'll still be able to communicate with the others. Though you won't be able to vote anymore. This seems a little too simple. What's the catch here? I'm sure you'll figure it out quickly, but that's really all you need to know. I'm sure if you all make the grand journey together, everything will be fine. Outside of the game room is where the trail starts. You'll also have some devices that allow you to communicate with one another if you get lost or something. That's all. Good luck and good fortune.
I think it's weird that nobody asked what happens if you're not in the tent.
Yeah. And just like that, Belle signed off. There's a game similar to this in Alice in Borderland where they have like escape pods. So I'm curious how this is gonna go. It sounded so weird. A simple hike and then get into some tents. I don't like
that. It sounds like there's more to this than she's letting on.
Well, no point in worrying about it. All we can do is march forward, right?
Besides, I mean, you're right, chat, but like, isn't it weird that she didn't say that?
Yeah. Besides, I like hikes. Lots of fun air and lots of fresh air and fun terrain.
Fun air, fresh terrain.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I like hikes. I like hikes as much as the next person, but I'm not really dressed for the occasion.
Well, it can't be that bad. Maybe it'll be a short hike. Maybe this is just some really easy game because 4 other people are dead.
That's
the longer
possible.
You're hiking,
we'll
the worse the pollen gets. That would actually, that would kill me.
Yeah. So let's get going.
We followed Kishi out of the waiting room. And we are met with a tremendous landscape. How is this even here? This looks like a whole damn forest.
It's a lot bigger than I thought it would be.
Yeah, I wonder, like, if you have a nobody can die in this game, like, do you know that nobody can die? I would assume not. Like,
well, because I was wondering too, because they had like the 3 versus 1 game like in the graphics for the like wheel, which in theory, like, why would you include that if it wasn't an option?
Yeah, like I would assume like you still have to play it under the impression that at least one person will die.
Yeah.
It's a hike, right? Why wouldn't it be big?
I just didn't think this place would have an entire forest around here. Unless this is just some kind of illusion.
I reached out and touched the grass, some nearby shrubs, and even the leaves on a few trees. It all felt real. Pretty convincing illusion. Nearby there was a podium that had 4 phone-like devices placed on top of it. Kishi tossed one over towards me.
Guess this is our little communication device.
I inspected it, and it looked like a phone, except that it only had 2 apps on it. A messaging app and a camera app. The only contacts to message were Contact Device 1, Contact Device 2, and Contact Device 3. Real creative names, Belle's got.
I guess this is just for us to keep in contact if we get lost or after we get into a tent, right?
Maria shrugged as she tucked her contact device away. Don't care. All that matters is we get a move on, right? We've even got a nice trail, the weather's nice, the sun is out. Huh, didn't think the sun would be there.
Why would you think that?
Does a god's realm even need a sun? Can't they just make up a light source or something?
How do you know that's not exactly what it is?
Good point. Anyway, let's go. We're gonna start walking down the path, and we followed, since we didn't have any real reason not to. For the most part, it was just a nice walk down a wooden path. Occasionally, we'd have to go up a slight incline or slide down a hill, but aside from that, things were pretty calm. And then we came across a sign.
Danger. Frigid conditions ahead.
We looked down the path and noticed that the somewhat temperate and woody landscape started to look more and more like a tundra. Even taking a step further, I could feel the air temperature drop. Ugh, this is gonna suck.
You're telling me. I was not prepared for winter weather.
If you're cold, you can borrow my jacket.
I can manage for a bit, but if it gets too bad, we can trade it around.
Yeah, my soul will keep me warm. That and a few exercises to keep my blood pumping.
I'm more worried about my feet. I don't have any socks, and if there's going to be snow on the ground, it's going to get painful fast.
I guess there is nothing stopping them from just like kind of like sprinting though, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Going barefoot doesn't sound like it'd be good either. Wanna borrow my shoes?
No, that's fine. Laura, tear part of your dress off and make makeshift socks.
Yeah. How about I carry you for a bit?
Are you sure?
Love wins. Yeah, don't worry, I'm hella strong.
But you'll get tired.
A little fatigue isn't gonna kill me, and if it means that you're not getting ice paws for feet, it's fine.
Oh, okay, but only if there's a lot of snow, okay?
Great, then let's keep going. The faster we get through it, the better. Maria again led the charge into the tundra, and while I could appreciate her fiery spirit, the sudden change in temperature was debilitating, to say the least. The cold winds were like paper cuts across my face, and I didn't want to even think about how bad it was for the others. Slowly ice and sleet began to fall from the sky, and the ground became soft with snow. We were only walking for 5 minutes, and already we were shivering.
She wasn't kidding when she said that conditions would be frigid. Maria, are you okay carrying me for a bit?
No problem. You can leave it to me. Maria quickly hoisted... Oh, that should be Laura. Laura up and put her onto her back. Alright, comfy back there?
Yeah, I'm fine.
The blush!
Cougarin.
Laura was
Laura's
hiding her
cougarin.
face. Apparently she didn't expect Maria to be so quick or eager to help her up. I think I see something up ahead, so we shouldn't have to worry too much.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Maria does get the benefit of having body heat.
Maria pointed to what looked to be some kind of hut or igloo up ahead. It was hard to make out in the snowy wind, but something was there. That was probably one of the tents that we were meant to get to. The real problem was that between us and the tent was a frozen lake.
Slide across it like penguins! Of course there's a frozen lake.
No worries, all we have to do is cross it and we'll be home free. Maria was first to walk up to the edge of the lake and was about to take a step forward before Lara scrambled to pull her back like pulling on the reins of a horse. Ouch! What are you doing?
What are you doing? You about to just walk onto a frozen lake without checking the ice or even putting me down?
Love weights. I mean, how else are we gonna get across?
Just let me down and I'll explain it quickly.
Marie crouched down to let Laura back down onto the ground. Laura looked over the entire lake, even walking across the edge for a bit, before pointing at a particular location.
We should try crossing there. The ice is clear and probably a bit thicker. We really should have some kind of rope or something, but I suppose this is the best that we can do.
Is clear ice safer than white ice?
Yeah, white ice is ice that's usually melted and refrozen and tends to have air bubbles in it. Not really the best place to try and cross a lake from. It could crumble beneath you, and I don't need to tell you why that's bad, right?
Awesome! We got a pro here!
I just like to do a lot of hikes and walks through nature. Haven't done it as often recently, but I know my stuff. But anyway, we should start walking there, and then when you're moving, you want to spread your weight as evenly as possible. If you fall in, don't panic. Just try and swim to where you fell out of and try to get back onto the ice.
Gotcha. That all sounds pretty easy.
Most importantly, though, we're going to have to go a little bit at a time. You mean we can't just go all at once, right? Yeah, 15 meters is ideal, I think.
What? What's that in feet and inches? What? I don't know the proper conversion.
Yep.
Anyway, shouldn't you go first? You'll be the closest one to the tent. Plus, we'll be able to follow your lead.
I suppose that's fair.
Then after her, Kishi can go, then Devin, and I'll go last. Any reason why you want that order?
Oh, I've heard of it. My bad.
Kishi's obviously cold and probably wants to get somewhere warm fast. You've still got your coat, so you'll be okay waiting for a bit, and I'm still warm. Plus, if anything bad happens, I can rush in to save you. I do not trust Maria.
No, Maria's up to something.
Yeah.
No, you shouldn't do that. If you end up running near a broken sheet of ice, you'll just end up making more ice fall.
What am I supposed to do if someone falls?
Well, if you had a rope, you could try and pull them to safety, but it's probably just better to let someone try and get out on their own. It sounds cruel, but if we're careful, we shouldn't have to worry about it.
Got it. We won't get into any trouble. So go on ahead and show us how it's done.
I'm telling you, running start, slide across like a penguin on your belly.
Laura nodded, took a deep breath, and then began to walk over the clear ice. She shivered with each step, but nonetheless walked steadily across the ice. After getting far enough away that she seemed to be a bit more comfortable, and after making it halfway across the ice, she waited for Keisha to follow.
The ice seems pretty stable, at least this far it does. Just try and follow my steps. Got it.
Keisha was quick to follow and took careful steps, the same as Laura did. As both of them made their way across the lake, I felt a bit more at ease, as they seemed to make it further and further without any issues. Maybe this lake won't be as bad as I thought. Devin, do not think that. Yeah, it was probably just some obstacle that Belle put up to scare us. Only thing that's actually dangerous here is the cold. I bet if we got too scared to cross, we'd just freeze to death. That makes sense. Action is better than inaction, and I'm not just saying that because I'm a personal trainer. You know, you're really encouraging Maria. It's nice having you around. Aw, you're gonna make me blush. Which might be dangerous in the cold. I have no idea, but it doesn't sound ideal. Who knows?
That would be better for you, right? You get more blood.
Yeah. Looks like it's your turn to go on out. Don't worry, I've got your back. I might not be able to pull you out if you fall in, but I'll cheer you on enough so that you'll be able to get through it yourself. Thanks, Maria. Don't mention it. I'm reassuring myself with the fact that we have stuff on the flowchart left. We can't die here. Maybe. With the last bit of encouragement, I walked into the ice, trying to trace Lara and Kishi's path along the ice. So far, we were all making it. The ice seemed stable, and there were no issues. Maybe Maria was right. Maybe this was just some mind game for Belle. The fact that the music stopped is making me so upset. Or maybe more like a test?
This woman is gonna try to drown us.
Someone with a weaker will might not be willing to take the risk to cross the lake. If the game is simply to see if we're willing to take risks, then what was the deal with the tents? What's the point of this game? Lost in my thoughts, I slipped and almost fell down, but quickly caught myself. Careful there, it's still ice, you know. Yeah, thanks. I can't let myself get distracted like that. I focused my vision back on my surroundings. I could see Lara nearing the other side of the lake, with Kishi following her exact path. Maria was a bit behind me, far enough away that it seemed that things were safe. Looks like Lara's gonna make it. Nice! Then all we have to do is follow her lead and everything will be great. And just like that, everything was jinxed.
Bum bum bum.
Right by the edge of the frozen lake, Lara seemed to have hit a weak spot by the lake's edge and fell waist deep into the frozen water. Granted, it wasn't as bad as it could have been, but the water must have been bone-chilling. Judging by how frantically she waded out of the water, I was probably right. Not that I need to test that for myself. Is she okay? I think so. She's probably really, really cold, but otherwise she's alright. She's heading over towards what I think is the tent, so we'll just have to be careful ourselves. Just then, Kishi turned towards me and pointed towards the spot that Lara had fallen through.
I think that the ice is thinner by the edge of the lake. Be careful. I really thought it was gonna be like, there's a sea monster coming out of the hole.
I felt something in my pocket vibrate. Probably the phone that Belle gave us. I pulled it out and checked. Sure enough, there was a message from who I assumed was Lara. They must be waterproof phones. Be careful around the edge of the lake. I thought that it was thick enough to walk across, but clearly I was wrong. I picked somewhere other than where I walked. The ice around it might be weakened, and you might end up falling in deeper water. There were some pictures of white, frothy ice that was floating around the edge of the lake where Lara had fallen in. Guess you're right, especially now that we can see further up.
I'm gonna try a path on the left side and tell you if it's safe or not. Tell you if it's safe or not, as in you'll watch me fall into the water.
Yeah, exactly.
Just hold up until then, okay?
Yeah, sure thing. The ice seems safe enough here that I can wait a bit.
Telling you, belly slide.
Kishi nodded and took a different path, watching the ice carefully as she ensured that she was taking a safer path. I looked around, wondering if I could spot another path that would be safe to walk. But it was hard to look at the ice and just know what was safe and what wasn't. Luckily, I didn't have to look long, as Kishi seemed to find a part of the lake where the ice was sturdier, and she was able to walk over to the edge of the lake and onto dry land. She beckoned me to come over and follow her. I turned to Maria and pointed over to where Kishi was. Looks like Kishi found a spot that we can walk over to. Great, then let's just get going and... Oh no. Maria took a step forward. In an instant, the ice beneath her shattered, sending her into the icy waters. Fuck! Fuck, this is fucking cold! Oh shit! Maria began to swim towards the edge of the ice and grabbed a hold of the ice where she just fell out of. But just as she got a firm grip, the ice cracked and splintered. Motherfucking... Maria cursed as she swam up to another wall of ice and attempted to grab at it, but again the ice kept peeling off the wall each time she attempted to get a good grip. Frustration and desperation began to show on Maria's face as she continued to swim around in the cold water, trying to find a grip. It was clear that she was having a hard time getting up and out of the water. I wanted to help, but I might only end up putting myself in danger if I did that. Still, I couldn't just stand here and do nothing, could I? What should I do? Uh-oh.
Oh god.
What should we do, gang?
This is the choice?
Don't forget, no matter what we do, we can go back and do the other one.
That's true.
Chat is fucking split on this one.
Damn.
Don't worry, I saved
the game.
Don't worry, I saved the game, and also we'll be able to just literally go and click on the flowchart and go back to this choice.
I feel like help her.
I also feel like help her, because here's the thing. We know that, like, there are, like, actual branches off of this that will, like, have scenes. So I think that we can't die here.
I just feel like also like in character for Devin, like after
Yeah,
watching Clyde die, she probably would not be super about like
I,
watching someone else die.
yeah, I agree. They could pull another perspective switch, which would actually be kind of interesting. Let's go help.
Well, let's find out.
I had to help her. Damn the advice. I need to get Maria out of that water. I ran over towards the edge of the water and reached out a hand to grab Maria. Unfortunately, as soon— oh, maybe we hit a bad
Oh.
end. Unfortunately, as soon as I got
Uh-oh.
close enough to grab hold of her, the ice underneath my feet cracked and I fell into the water. Immediately, my body was bombarded by the cold, and with the clothes I had on me, it clung onto me and weighed me down. The only thing I could think was that I wanted out. I flailed around in the water, first trying to find some wall to grab, but with each stroke, the cold took away my strength. Even with Maria helping to find a place where we could climb out of, we couldn't find it. Soon we both— oh my god, we died.
Oh.
Soon we both ran out of strength, heat, and motivation to fight for our lives and embrace the cold depths. Bad end, we're hard and cold-blooded! Oh man.
Oh.
Okay, I will go back to the flowchart.
Ooh.
Yes. Alright, I'm gonna save this to a new slot.
That game really said, "You died, dumbass."
Yeah. Okay, so I guess there are choices that don't necessarily split, which is good to know.
Well, this seems like there's gonna be another split choice coming up. Like
Yeah.
that wasn't the split. So, fuck.
Yeah, like so yeah, some choices are story choices and some are just oops choices.
Some choices are just, we told you not to do the thing. Are you
Yeah.
gonna do it anyway?
Yeah. I guess we stay back.
Yeah.
I gritted my teeth and fought against the urge to go in and try to help. If the ice around her was weak, chances were that I'd end up falling in too. Even so, there had to be something that I could do, right? I looked around, wondering if there was some tool or something that I could use to help. I didn't see anything, but I did notice in inspecting the ice, and noticed that I did inspect the ice and noticed that most of it was white compared to the rest of the lake, except for one particular spot that still looked to be clear. Maria, try climbing out there! I pointed to the clear ice, and Maria quickly swam over to it, grabbing a hold of the stable ice and pushing herself out of the water. She gasped for air and flicked stray bits of ice and water off her arms and legs. But we both knew how dangerous of a situation she was in. She was shivering, and even though she was quick to get on her feet, she was clearly trying to put on a brave face. "We've got to get you off the lake." Yeah. She nodded, and I increased my pace. We rushed off the lake as fast as we could, keeping our eyes peeled for any more weak points in the ice. Fortunately, Kishu's route seemed to be completely safe, and we were able to get off the lake without issue. Once we were out on dry land again, I took off my jacket and began to rub Maria's skin so she'd dry off faster. "Here, let me help you take off your shoes and socks and stuff." "What? Why would you do that?" "You need to take off your wet clothes, don't you? You're basically wearing ice right now." "I don't have any spares." "Do you want to freeze?" "No, but just cover yourself up with my coat, at least for the time being. That's better than what you've got now." "Fine, fine." Just before Maria was going to take off her wet clothes, Kishu came over from the tent.
Hey, can you sure hurry over here? You'll end up freezing if you stick around the lake. It's actually a lot warmer by the tent.
"Well, let's get her there." We rushed Maria over towards the tent, and oddly enough, everything started to feel warmer. The air no longer had frigid wind chills. The snow and ice had melted into a slushy mud-like mix, and the snowfall had quickly relented into a light drizzle that was barely noticeable. The difference between the weather by the tent and the weather by the lake was so stark, it was like walking into a different room. Not that I minded. The warmer weather would probably mean that Maria wouldn't be as big a risk for hypothermia or any other cold-related injuries. When we finally got to the tent, I realized it was much bigger up close than it appeared from afar. Outside the tent, there were changes of clothes for each of us. Towels, but the tent itself was odd. The only entrance inside the tent appeared to be closed and locked behind some kind of screen. While Maria was warming herself up and changing into warmer clothes, I looked over at the weird lock on the tent. How do we open the tent?
Laura and I tried opening it earlier, but it looks like we need to vote in order to open it. Look at the screen. Oh, no, Siri.
I took a look at the screen and saw that it had icons for each of our faces. There was also one checkmark underneath Lara and Kishi's icons.
Tap on your icon, and I think that counts for voting, and whoever gets the most votes is allowed inside the tent.
And the others? Kishi shrugged.
I guess we just keep on walking.
What happens if all 4 people vote for themselves, though?
Sudden death.
I looked at the screen and saw that there was also a bit of text towards the bottom. Votes needed for access, 3. Oh, okay, there you go. Whoever enters the tent may not be allowed to leave until the game's completion. Survival supplies will be included for the rest of the game duration. I guess that means someone needs 30 votes in order to be able to enter the tent?
That's what I guess, yeah.
Alright, that makes sense. And when they get in, they're able to just stay in for as long as they want, right?
With all the food and supplies they need. It sounds like... Didn't it say you're not allowed to leave the tent?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not you get to stay as long as you want, it's you are in there until the game ends.
Yeah, you're in there, yeah.
So I guess Belle really doesn't want anyone to leave.
Yeah, that seems to be the case. Speaking of, where's Lara? I don't see her anywhere around.
She went to change somewhere else. She did fall waist deep into the water after. But we did play around with the screen before she went off to do that.
I see. Just as we spoke, Maria and Lara walked up behind us, drier and warmer than they had been before.
Speak of the devil, we were just thinking about the tent and all.
We have to vote for these things, don't we? Something like that, anyway?
Yep, whoever gets 3 votes will be allowed to go into the tent. So then all we have to do is vote and decide then, right? That seems to be the case, so with that said, anyone really care who gets to stay behind? It should be obvious that we're basically voting on who gets to live. What if the people inside the tents get, like, smushed or something?
If it's that easy, I don't mind sitting it out this time. I like hiking around.
But you fell in a freezing water.
And now I'm all dried up and warm. All's well that ends well. If it were up to me, I'd vote for Lara to stay in the tent.
Ah, thank you, I appreciate it. But I'm a little curious as to why.
I don't know. No real reason, I guess. You seem really nice, so I figured that you'd be okay with just sticking back here is all.
Oh, is that pity then?
No! I don't pity you or anything. I think you're really cool. I mean, you know all that stuff about walking on ice? You could probably handle going on just as well as anyone else here. I figure maybe it's for the best that you stay behind? Or I guess it's really about getting you to the next round.
Thank you, I really appreciate that. Maria, you're a little fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
Of course I'd have to get everyone else to agree with you, or really just one actively. Since I'll probably just vote for myself if you're okay with it. Oh, it's probably choosing whether you stay in the tent or not.
Yeah. I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, I'm fine with it too. Honestly, I was going to suggest the same thing as Maria, but I probably wouldn't have been as tactful with the reasoning. What's there to be tactful about? Well, if you want my honest opinion, I just figured you'd probably not do too well later on. Hey, I'm very good at hiking. I might not have been able to handle the cold all that well, but even so. What does it entail being good at hiking? You're just walking.
Yeah.
That's not what I meant. Then what do you mean? Don't worry about it. Just be happy that you'll be able to move on to the next game. Okay. I suppose I shouldn't let a gift horse in the mouth. Right. Anyway, Devin, you're okay with this too, right? I mean, you're outnumbered if you're not, but I figured I'd ask anyway.
I'm fine with it. I don't really have any reason not to be. Aside from wanting to save my own ass, but there'd be future opportunities for that.
Cool, then we'll go ahead and vote then.
Kishi, Maria, and Lara all touched the screen on the tent. The flap opened up, but red lasers popped down from it, keeping anyone from entering. Hold on, is this thing supposed to let Lara in? Maybe we're too close?
Maybe we're too...
Kishi, Maria, and I took a few steps back and the lasers went away. Guess you were right.
I suppose this is where we say goodbye for now.
What are you talking about? You'll still be able to talk with us. Just use your phone thingy.
Oh, yeah, I guess I can still text you all, right?
She pulled out the phone-like device and tapped away at it before smiling at us.
Did you all get the message I just sent?
We all checked and we were greeted with Lara's message. This is a test.
Mm.
Yep, looks like we did.
We already knew the phones worked. You sent a message already.
She had
Great
to be
then.
sure.
Oh my god. Great then. I guess I'll leave you free to it. Good luck.
Lara entered into the tent, and when she did, the flap closed down again and locked up. She should be well supplied in there, so that there wasn't much else to worry about. At least not with her. Now I just had to worry about my own life. Speaking of, I guess we just have to keep going down the path that Belle's paved for us. Yep, it's probably gonna get a lot hotter from here on out. I saw a sign warning about sweltering conditions further up ahead while I was getting changed. Is that why things are warmer around here? That's my guess. We went through the ice, and now we're gonna go through the desert. That's just a guess, though. I hope it's true, though. I'm better geared towards hot weather. Ugh, I'm gonna have to ditch this jacket if that's the case. It'll make for a good sweat rag. Ugh, don't call it that. I don't want to lug around some sweat-soaked jacket. We're just teasing. It probably won't be that bad.
Sweltering. Coming from the person that fell into a frigid lake, I'd hate to see what you consider bad.
Guess we'll find out. Come on, let's go. Marie continued down the path, and we followed behind her. Just as she said, a sign showed up noting that conditions would be getting warmer and drier. It didn't take long for the landscape to reflect that either. The cold air became temperate, then hot. The light drizzle began to let up, and the sun began to shine with a fierce intensity. The ground started to become rough, the dirt slowly transitioning into sand. We went from a tundra to a desert. It was hard to believe that we were anywhere near some frigid lake with blistering snow. And honestly, I sort of missed it. The cold was miserable, but this heat was killing me. Ugh, I hate this. Really? I think we're making great progress. It's because you're in shorts and are probably used to sweating bucket loads on the daily. I'm not.
She's right, you've got some supernatural endurance, you know?
Well, I guess to me a little hardship isn't the end of the world. Something like blazing heat or frigid cold is a mountain to climb over.
Shut up. You're gonna jinx us and make us walk up and over a mountain.
Alright, I'll try and not give us any bad luck.
You better not.
You know, in hindsight, maybe we should have taken some snow with us. Melted water would be good right about now.
I'm more annoyed about the sand getting in my shoes. I hate sand. It's everywhere. Worst thing in the world.
Yeah, I hate sand.
Oh, there it was!
Come on, you two. There's no need to get too glum. Especially since there looks to be an oasis over the horizon. Please tell me you're not joking or having a hallucination because of the heat. Take a look for yourself if you don't believe me. Maria pointed over the sandy dunes, and I saw a spot where a few trees were growing over a small water source. Perfect. My throat is dry as hell.
Same. Come on, let's go. My feet need a break.
We hurried over to the oasis and felt relief as the temperature seemed to lower just enough to feel a rush of relief. The water seemed to be fresh, cool, and safe to drink, and we took some time to collect ourselves.
No, Devin. How would you know if it's safe to drink other than it looks fine?
Yeah. As I laid down in the rough grass, I saw Kishi was texting, who I assume was Laura. She had an intense look on her face as she tapped her fingers on the screen. You alright, Kishi?
Huh? Oh yeah, I'm fine. Just talking with Laura about a few things.
Must be some intense
Like how
stuff.
the tent is slowly eating her.
Yeah. Must be some intense stuff if you've got that scowl on your face. You take stuff like that too?
Only when he pisses me off.
Well, maybe you should relax a bit. I'm sure you wouldn't want to know you got all worked up.
I'll be fine, but thanks for the concern.
Yeah, exactly. That's how you get waterborne diseases. Everyone is gonna get dysentery.
Or like Ebola.
Yeah. Kishi put her phone away and sat down by the edge of the water, splashing her face slightly and leaning back onto her hands.
At least it's nice to get a few relaxing spots here after all the walking.
Yeah, it's got just the right atmosphere. The atmosphere for gossip.
Oh no. What gossip in the desert?
So how do you and Zeph meet anyway? I'm kind of curious.
That's a bit of a weird thing to ask now, don't you think?
Maybe a little, but I'm still kind of curious. He seems a bit more on the energetic side, and you're more chill.
Opposites attract, although I'm sure Zeph would say that I'm the more energetic one and that he's the chill guy. But to answer your question, we met at a hospital.
What?
Yeah, not the ideal place to meet your boyfriend, but the world works in weird ways. He had gotten into a nasty accident that day, and my grandmother made me go check up on him.
Your grandma made you go check up on someone in the hospital? What, was he some kind of family friend?
Well, not of a family friend, more of an associate, I guess? He was meant to do some business for us, and because of it, he got hurt. So I was meant to smooth things over in case he wanted some kind of payment for the damages and stuff.
You were just some kind of, like, agent then? Paying him off if he threatened to sue you or something?
I was an intern, at least that's what my grandma said my title was.
I'm so curious about Kishi's grandma.
Kishi's grandma, what the fuck? All I really did was check up on him and make sure he was fine.
Kishi's grandma's, like, in the mob.
Yeah. From there, we ended up talking and got to know one another. We hung out some more after that, and the rest is history.
That's it? Come on, you've got to tell us more of the fun details than that.
You asked for how we met. You didn't ask for anything more than that. Anyway, let's get going. No point in wasting our time here more than we should.
Yeah, otherwise Belle might send a sandstorm our way.
Please don't say things like that.
I won't. Still, it is kind of weird how relatively peaceful everything is. I figured that Belle would have added some traps or something kind of difficult. She put dysentery in the water! She made that water!
Just wait until you guys are all vomiting and diarrheaing at once.
The lake was pretty bad, but otherwise it's not been that stressful, really. Kishi raised an eyebrow at me as she stood up and walked back towards the sandy trail.
Do you really mean that?
Yeah, I mean, things have been calm, don't you think?
Yeah, but that's the point. The whole trick of this game, it's not really meant to kill you physically. It's a psychological thing.
What do you mean?
These long walks, the pleasant talks, it's all meant to mess with your head.
I don't get it.
Fucking, Devin's gonna win this game just by being fucking stupid. Peace of mind is useful here.
She began walking down the trail again, leaving me confused as to what she meant. Was there something I was missing? Don't worry too much about it. I'm with you on this one. I'd rather a game like this than one where we have to end up murdering one another with knives or something. Yeah, me too. So what did she mean then? Was there some trick of this game that I was missing? I tried to brush the ominous feelings off my shoulder and just focused on hurrying through the godforsaken desert. We caught up with Kishi, and after a few more minutes of walking, we managed to spot a tent in the distance. This time without any dangerous tricks or traps that you know of. Thank God, this damn heat was going to be the end of me. Well, don't you worry. Relief is coming. I super do not trust Maria. I feel like she knows what's going on here.
Yeah, Maria is either actually very, very dumb or very, very smart.
The way that she's like, don't you worry. Death is coming for you, Devin. Locked off until we each put in a vote for who could enter. The only difference this time around was that only 2 votes were needed to enter inside. Yeah, it feels that like at least one of them have played like this particular game.
Yeah, well,
before.
Kishi definitely seems to know about the whole situation. Guess they're going based purely on the majority, more than 50% of the vote. I mean, yeah, Kishi, that's generally how voting works.
Hi, Momo. Ain't a problem. We don't need to squabble too much, right?
Let's hope.
I'll make it easy. I don't mind going along for another trip, so one of you two can stay around.
That means you'll decide whether it's Devin or myself that ends up staying around here.
Yep. I mean, unless you two can decide amongst yourself who should stay behind.
I mean, personally, I'd like to stay back now if I can. But I'm sure that Devin feels the same way, right?
Ah. I mean, it guarantees my safety, right?
I just want to say that we don't know that for a fact. Everybody is assuming that being in the tent means you're safe, but we don't know that for sure. Just about, yeah.
Guess it would be pretty hard to pick between the two of you. Either of you have a coin to flip or something?
Nope.
No. Alright, how about this? Yeah, Belle said
Belle said that you would have like food and stuff. Belle didn't say anything about the tent eating you or crushing you. Or sucking you into the earth.
I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 2. Whoever gets it gets my vote. Totally fair and even.
Nah, that'll just make the loser really irritable.
Kishi turned to me, and then back towards the tent.
Devin, if you want to stay, then you can stay. It's the least I can do, I guess, considering what happened in the game before.
Okay, she did say the tents were safe zones. And we haven't seen Belle lie about the rules yet, but I do agree that there's probably something else going on here.
Yeah, I just feel like safe from what? You know what I mean? I feel like there's like you gotta play like GD rules, like very specific.
That was awfully kind of her to offer, and I could choose to simply stick with the safe route and get into a tent now. Or give it to her, maybe as a show of good faith? But if I did that, I might not be able to assure my chance for survival in the future. What should I do? This is our branching choice, I bet. I'm gonna save.
Yeah.
So... yeah, really this is like, do we want to make sure that we survive, or do we want to roll with our chances of going ahead with Maria, and then only one of us can get the last tent, probably?
I guess let's see what happens if we take the tent.
Yeah. And then we can always go back later.
Alright, then you'll stay here and Maria and I will go on ahead.
Right. Hey, don't look so glum. We're just looking out for you. Won't be the last time that we get to talk with you either. So don't worry, alright? Right. Why did my stomach tighten into a knot? I knew that this would lead to my safety.
I'm just saying that fucking Laura was probably texting Kishi like, the house is eating me. Just an FYI.
I am curious if this... yeah, this is our choice that we... the branching choice. Maybe I was just being nervous. Yeah, I'm assuming this determines whether Kishi or Maria dies in this game. Like if we had chosen to go on ahead with Maria, Kishi would have been safe. Um, Kishi and Maria tapped the screen on the tent, and it opened up, allowing me to enter. I carefully looked inside, seeing that there was plenty of food and water to last me for a little bit. Though there wasn't much for entertainment. Not that I really need it. If I stayed here, I'd be fine, right? There wasn't any reason not to go and just wait it out.
Why wouldn't she group chat that? Who knows? I don't know. Maybe they have a secret alliance.
So
I don't
why
know
was
what
I
those bitches are
hesitating?
doing.
Maybe these phones can't support group chats. Something in the back of my mind said to keep going, to keep pushing forward, that it was the best outcome, but I didn't know why. I turned to look at Kishi and Maria, who seemed to be just as confused at my hesitation as I was. Hey, is it okay if I still come along?
Wait, really?
Yeah, we're giving you the tent, don't you want it? I know, it's just... Wouldn't it work out better if I came along? What do you mean? Well, Lara's tent needed a majority of 3 Oh, you know what? That's really smart. This one needed a majority 2 votes. Will the next one need 2 votes as well? I mean, if it's a majority, it should be 2, right? You can't get, like, 1.5 votes, right?
In that case, it would probably be whoever got 2 votes. So Maria and I would need to decide who get to stay in that particular tent then.
And what about the last tent? Well, if it's a majority out of 1 person, then it should probably just be 1 vote, right? So as long as that person can make it to the last tent, they'd be fine, right? I guess that makes sense. See, nothing to fear. Maybe I was just being paranoid. Oh, you don't have to say that, Devin. I get it. Huh? You just couldn't stand the idea of leaving my side? I'm charmed, really. Sure, Maria. I wouldn't want to miss spending more time with you. Well, who am I to say no? Tag along. It'll be easier to chat with you around. Not that anything's wrong with you, Kishi. It's just... Kishi?
Huh? Oh, sorry, I was just thinking. Anyway, if you want to tag along, Devin, I won't stop you. I mean, you can always just walk your way back, can't you?
Thanks. Guess I just want to see how far I can go. That's the spirit. Let's get a high score in this game.
There aren't any high scores, but sure.
Yeah, I would also be pissed if someone else got the tent and then was like, no, just kidding, I want to come with.
Yeah.
We moved up past the tent and continued down the trail. Soon the climate began to shift while the temperature was still high and we began to see grass growing along the ground, along with a sharp increase in humidity. After a few minutes, we came across another sign. Wetland
Devin could
ahead.
also use
Beware of
the tent
wildlife.
to murder Maria and Kishi. Elaborate.
Well, that would explain why things got... Oh, that's you.
Yeah. Well, that would explain why things got so humid.
I can't believe whoever guessed crocodiles is probably gonna be right. What the fuck?
I'm telling you, the bottoms of the tents open up and drop you into a suitable pit for the environment.
Hopefully we don't have to wade through any swampy water. If we do, it'll be fine. We'll get spare clothes, I bet, at the next tent.
What about all the weird creatures and bugs and gross things that are in swamps?
You mean like alligators?
No, I mean like leeches and mosquitoes and...
Kishi shivered at the mere thought, while Maria laughed and gave her a pat on the shoulder. Well, well, well. Turns out that Kishi's scared of bugs.
I'm not scared. It's just they're gross. Who wants to wade around in nasty swamp water?
I think Kishi's in the right for this one.
I agree.
Maria couldn't help but keep teasing Kishi as we walked along the trail. Soon enough, the air became unbearably heavy, and mosquitoes and gnats seemed to swarm around us. Ugh! This sucks. I hate dealing with bugs.
You're telling me. They keep biting me. Bugs didn't even give us any damn insect repellent.
Buck up, Kishi. We're probably halfway there, and I'm sure that Belle will give you some kind of cream for that silky smooth skin of yours. I'm sure Zeph would be disappointed to see it all red and irritated.
That's not funny.
It's a little funny. Do you want my jacket? It's hot, but at least you'll be able to cover up your arms.
Yeah, give it to me. Stupid things are still biting the hell out of my legs, but at least it'll help a little.
Kishi quickly put on my jacket and tried to cover up as much of herself as possible. You're gonna be sweating a ton if you wear that the whole way.
Well, what's the alternative?
Power through the pain? You're one to talk. Your arms are covered up. True, but I'm still getting bitten up too. It's just a few bites here and there. Really, it isn't all that annoying.
You've got an inspiring amount of willpower, you know?
I am pretty amazing, aren't I? What's with that look?
You've been through a lot, huh?
Well, I could say that I've been through my fair bit of hardship here and there. But I'm still here, so you can say that I'm definitely tough as nails.
Are you here for your mother? Kishi, why are you being creepy as fuck?
Maria tensed up suddenly as she looked away for just a moment, before looking back at Kishi. You Digits of Eden people know just about everything about us, don't you?
Well, it really was just a guess. Just stuff that my grandma brought up.
Oh, her
Fucking
grandmother works for the cult, I bet.
Yeah.
A guess, huh? Was it really a guess, or did you know the whole time? I mean, you should know. It was your grandma that gave us the clearance to be here after all. I'm sure that she filled you in on all the details for why we wanted to be here, right?
True, true. But people can lie about their motivations and reasonings all the time. Certainly wouldn't be the first time that my grandma got screwed over like that.
Well, I don't have a reason to lie to you. Me and Al are here for my mom, just like you said. And that's why I've got a serious determination to see it through to the end.
I guess that's fair. I don't know. I guess if I were in your shoes, I'd be more angry.
Well, there certainly is some lingering anger, but what can you do?
You could do a lot of things.
Well, yeah, but those are bad ideas. Sorry to cut in, but I've got no idea what the heck you two are talking about. Oh, sorry, Devin. Didn't mean to get you caught up in the middle of all that. I gathered. Do you two have a history?
Us two? Well, not really. Not anything deep anyway. I guess I knew about Maria, but I never really talked with her or anything like that.
Yep, I basically only knew that Kishi here was the granddaughter of one of the Digits of Eden leaders. Aside from that, though, we don't really have any connections. You're the granddaughter of one of the Digits of Eden leaders?
Ah, well, it's not all that important.
Yes, it is. You've probably got some first-hand information on stuff, right? Like this game and how it works and things like that, right? Oh yeah, I'm sure that Kishi knows a lot of things. A lot of things.
I don't like the way you said that.
Well, it's true though. You're in a special position here. You probably got spoon-fed all the useful information on everyone here, I bet. After all, no way that Grandma would send her darling granddaughter into these deadly games without some info, right? Kishi averted her eyes for a moment, but I could see tension and annoyance written all over her face.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, don't skip out on the details. Is there anything useful you can tell us? Some way that we can all survive or something like that?
Oh yeah, that's really simple. All you have to do is win the game.
Wow, real helpful information there, Kishi.
It sounds like I'm just pulling your leg, but I'm serious. If you want to survive, you want us all to survive,
I mean, yeah, I do.
then you have to give it your all to win every game that you can. You have to fight with all your being to survive in every game so that you make it to the end. You'll have to take my word for it. If you need motivation, just think about this. You win, you can wish for Clyde to come back to life.
Hitting me right where it hurt the most. or where it motivated me the most. I could wish for Clyde to come back, couldn't I? Couldn't I? The confusion frayed my brain for a moment, as I tried to figure out what it all meant. The thought, however, was jolted out of my head as I felt myself getting grabbed by the neck and reeled backwards. Hey!
Oh.
Don't doze off there. You're about to walk right off the trail and into the swamp. Ah, thanks. Sorry, got lost in thought there. Haha, no problem. Though, we might have another problem on our hands. Maria pointed ahead of us, where the trail seemingly ended, or rather, it seemed to lead us right towards the boggy part of the swamp. The trail seemed to continue further ahead. By the looks of things, we were gonna have to wade through the water.
Oh, come on. Please don't tell me that we're gonna have to go through that.
Don't worry, it's not that far, Kishi. It won't be that bad.
But I don't wanna.
Come on, Kishi, we're not gonna get anywhere complaining. Besides, if I'm going through with you, I'm gonna have to make this trip twice. If I can do that, you can make it at least once.
Okay, but that was your dumbass decision.
Yeah, that was
Devin.
your idea, Devin.
Fine.
Maria was the first to enter into the water. It seemed that it only went up to about her chest.
Only to her chest?
Huh, it's pretty deep. Whoa, it's a lot warmer than I thought it'd be.
Ew. Ew, ew, don't say that.
It's like a bath. Come on, water's fine, Kishi.
Devin, you go next. I don't want to go in there if there's something in there.
And you think that I'll be better bait?
Not bait, just... I need to make sure it's safe.
Alright, I'm going. I entered into the water and, well, it felt weird, that was for sure. Like I was wading through a disgusting soup. See?
Ugh.
Water's nice and safe. Come in, Kishi.
Oh god, oh god.
Kishi reluctantly entered into the water.
Gross. Gross. This is so gross. Let's just go, please.
Alright, let's go. As fun as it is seeing Kishi squirm like a worm, it's probably best to just get through this fast. You don't have to tell me. We continued wading through the marshy water. While it was uncomfortable, it did seem to be dangerous. Though Kishi would disagree.
Back! Something just brushed up against my leg.
You're sure you're not just over?
I'm not overreacting!
Yeah, I'm guessing if we had chosen to leave Kishi behind, we wouldn't have gotten, like, the lore about her grandmother. Kishi quickly started rushing through the water, trying to get to the other side. Hey, calm down, it was probably just a fish.
It wasn't a fish. I felt it coiling around my leg.
Oh no, maybe it was a spooky swamp eel, or maybe a snake.
That's not funny.
Look out, Kishi, a big spooky swamp eel is coming to get you! Maria splashed some water at Kishi, who immediately became irate and splashed back.
Stop playing around, Maria. I don't want to get bitten by anything.
Haha, you mean this? Maria looked at the water and pulled out a turtle? Watch out, Kishi, this little guy is gonna nibble on your legs. Kishi could only stare for a few seconds before furrowing her brow.
It could have been a snake.
Yeah, I guess it could have. Oh boy, you're right sometimes, Kishi. Didn't think you get so spooked over a little turtle.
Shut up. I don't like swamps.
Huh, swamps. I looked around the water and looked around at the trees. Are you sure that this is a swamp and not a marsh? Huh? Like, don't swamps have more trees? This is more of a marsh, don't you think? Wetland discourse! Why are you all looking at me like that? I guess it was unexpected. Didn't know you were so learned about swamps and stuff. I'm not. I just sort of knew. I don't know, felt like a flashbulb sort of thing. Maybe I heard about it before. Did I really? It just felt so weird.
Yeah, I guess that's possible.
Anyway, we're just about out of here. I think
Devin's like, damn, this is wild that I've been to school, that I took an ecology class at some point. Damn.
I think we might be like drifting with Clyde's ghost or something. That's my That's my guess.
Wait, you think... What about Clydesdale?
I think we're, like, mentally, like, Pacific Rim drifting with dead Clyde.
Ooh.
Because we keep getting, like,
So
flashes...
you think Clyde is the swamp aficionado?
Yes, I think so. Because we keep, like, being like, I know that he's still alive, but I can't say how or why. This could be a time loop thing, though. Viralore, you might be onto something. Anyway, we're just about out of here. I think I could see a tent further up, so we can finally get out of here.
Thank God. I don't think I can handle another minute of this.
Yeah, as fun as it is teasing Kishi, I want to get into some better clothes then. We all turned our heads to see a pair of eyes jutting out right behind us.
Alligator!
Crocodile. It was obvious to all of us that those were the bloodthirsty eyes of a crocodile. Or an alligator. Is that a...
Crocagator.
Crocagator.
I love the little edge!
Yeah! Kishi didn't bother to answer and just made a blitz towards the shore. Her flailing seemed to be enough to get the crocodile to chase after us. Yeah, this is when you move very slowly, actually. Okay, playtime's over. That's an actual crocodile.
You wait for it to come to you and you bop it in the nose.
Yeah, like you don't run. Shit, shit, shit! I scrambled through the water trying to reach the shore. Yeah, like those things are fucking built for swimming. You don't wade very fast away from it.
Yeah.
So close, so close.
Ah! Listen, Nine O'Neill. Any animal, you can punch it in the nose.
Yeah.
Any animal in the world, if it has a nose, you can punch it.
Piercing pain shot across my leg, and I turned back to see that the croc had managed to grab a hold of my
Holy
leg,
shit.
just as I was supposed to reach the shore. With one fierce tug, it pulled me back into the water. There was no way that I could fight back against that thing, and it was only spinning around in the water. I couldn't get my bearings, and the pain in my leg intensified each time it spun around. We're getting fucking death rolled!
I was just about to say, she's getting death rolled?
Panic began to well up in me as I felt my mind going into overdrive. I didn't want to die here, not just some stupid crocodile. To survive, I had to.
That's kind of a badass way to die, though. Marn, you gotta punch it in the fucking nose.
Yeah, punch it in the nose, absolutely. Crocodiles are weak in the nose, right? Or was that sharks? Who cares? I'm fighting for my life here. I kept striking it, hoping that my fist would be enough to force it to let it go.
Choice.
But the damn thing was persistent and it just kept rolling through the water, even as I swung wild punches at it. Suddenly, the pain in my leg flared again as I felt the croc's teeth sink deeper, and I gasped in pain, choking on putrid swamp water. My panic flared up again as I tried to pry the beast slip off my leg, but it was no use. The thing had a lock on me and it wasn't letting go. And with one final roll, I felt a painful snap, and my body froze with a shock. Everything went black, and the pain in my leg faded away. It was met with merciful oblivion. Bad end. Vicious vice grip. So I guess we do have to roll with it. I quickly tried to grab a hold of the crocodile's mouth, just so I could swim along with it. It was disorienting, but at least rolling along with it kept it from tearing my leg off. It seemed a little fatigued, or at least enough that it wasn't flailing around in the water anymore. After a few seconds of sitting, the croc seemed to stop, giving me a few seconds to strike it in the face as it recovered.
So you still punch it in the face?
Yeah. But even with punches, the damn thing wouldn't let go of me. The stupid thing is stubborn. Now it's angry. Let go of her, you dumb beast! Maria had leapt back into the water and was battering the croc in the face with some kind of wooden club. Or maybe it was just a big stick? Either way, she didn't let up against the croc and kept striking it with wild abandon like I'd never seen before. It seemed to be working just enough for the croc to let go of me. I didn't waste any time hobbling over towards the edge of the march before collapsing on the ground.
Come on, you're gonna be okay.
Kishi appeared and dragged me further away from the water's edge. Don't worry, Devin, I got it handled. And just as he said that, the crocodile snapped and grabbed a hold of Maria's arm. Maria! Ah, you stupid! I watched as Maria, in a fit of rage, smashed the stick into splinters against the crocodile's head in a single strike. Apparently it was enough to deter the crocodile back into the depths as it released its grip on her arm. The Maria didn't want to tempt fate and quickly made her way back over to land. Finally, it seemed that the threat had disappeared, though we still had our wounds to deal with. Stupid crocodiles. Pain in the goddamn ass. She held her arm, trying to stop the bleeding before looking over to
Who
me.
is she that she is having this reaction?
Yeah. Christ almighty, Devin, your leg looks fucked up. Wow, I never would have guessed. It's not like I just got mauled by a goddamn crocodile. Though, now that I looked at my leg, it was definitely a mess. My jeans were torn up, blood was oozing out from various wounds, not to mention the surge of pain that was pulsing across my leg, now that the adrenaline had worn off. I'm gonna guess... Well, no. If we had put Kishi in the tent, like, I guess this still happens?
I was gonna say,
yeah.
I think you probably, I feel like you could probably still get gaitored, because you would still walk the same way, right? I'm willing to bet she can't stand on the leg that just got gaitored.
I don't know, let me see. Keisha and Maria supported me as I cautiously stood up and carefully put some pressure on my injured leg. I was at least unable to stand on my own. It seemed that my foot was uninjured through the whole ordeal. Yeah, maybe
Okay,
Maria...
but what about the muscles in your legs that just got...
Well, that's a good sign. I'm more worried about your thigh, though. She looked over at the bloody mess that the crocodile had ravaged. Might be broken, and even if it isn't, I wouldn't want a wound like that to get any worse by prolonged walking. I don't think it's broken? I mean, it hurts a lot, but I don't remember feeling like anything snapped or broke.
Really? You got bit by a crocodile and you don't think the thing snapped your bones at all? Those things eat bigger and tougher things for breakfast.
Okay, I guess you gotta
Drag her. Drag her.
Well, it'd be easier to tell if I could inspect the wound. Here, lean on me and let's
Also,
get you
if
over
it was broken, again, she probably wouldn't be able to stand on it.
There might be something that could help. Okay. No prolonged walking for you. Turn around and wade back through the bog water to your tent.
Bleed in the water.
With Maria and Kishi's help, I was able to hobble over towards the nearby tent. Unsurprisingly, there was a change of clothing again for us, but not only that, there were medical supplies too.
Belle said, for the gator part.
Bandages, disinfecting agents, pain medication, just about anything you'd expect from a field medic. Were we always supposed to get attacked by a crocodile?
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if Belle put these here to make us keep going.
I mean, she did put the crocodile there.
Maybe she really didn't mean for us to get attacked, and this is a way for us to take care of ourselves. I mean, yeah, Kishi.
What an asshole. Who designs a hike where you're supposed to get attacked? Belle, obviously. Okay, yes, but like, that's just so rude. Anyway, let me get a better look at your leg. Maria got some scissors from the medical supplies and snipped away at my jeans so she could get a better look at the wound on my leg.
Now Devin is canonically wearing jorts. Okay, while you do that, I'm gonna get changed. Again.
Poor Kishi. Should you also make sure that your arm is okay? I'm fine. Thing just nipped me. Didn't even use its full bite force. Trust me, I'd know if my arm was broken. This is probably just a flesh wound. She gave a thumbs up with her hands before looking over at my leg closely. Well, there's some swelling, the obvious bite marks, definitely bruised at least, also some bleeding. Maria, I know you mean well, but this is not as reassuring as you think it is. Well, I gotta be frank with you, Devin. It doesn't look good. But I can tell you that it doesn't look broken, so let me try and clean up the wound a bit for you, and then we'll see if you can walk on it. Maria walked back over towards the medical supplies and grabbed a bunch of things before sitting right beside me. Kishi, can you come over here real quick? Kishi had gotten changed into another set of clothes and walked over towards us. What's up? Oh, that's you.
What's up, Devin? Looking okay?
Mostly, aside from what you'd expect after a croc attack. I just need you to hold her hand while I disinfect the wound.
You just need me to hold her hand?
Well, yeah, it's gonna hurt like a motherfucker, so she's probably gonna flail around a bit. Give her some support, will ya? Is it gonna be that bad? Well, it certainly ain't gonna feel good. Ugh.
Well, alright.
After Kishi held my hand, Maria began to dab some alcohol onto a gauze pad and began to wipe around the wound. Ah! Ow, that fucking stings!
Ouch, stop moving my hand so hard.
Bear through it, Devin. You're tough enough. It only hurts the first time. She wiped again, and despite her assurances, it did in fact still hurt. But I guess it wasn't as bad the second, third, or fourth time. Kishi, on the other hand, looked miserable, having her hands squeezed each time. But after enough wiping, she started to bandage up the wound and wrapped it properly to keep it from bleeding. There, that ought to do it.
God, I don't know if I'd have a hand if we kept this up any longer.
Sorry.
It's fine. I'm sure that it hurt like hell.
Anyway, Devin, can you try standing on your own? Maybe even taking a few steps? I cautiously stood up, and while there was definitely a sharp pain in my leg, it didn't stop me from standing up straight. I was even able to take a few awkward steps, though it was more like I was limping around than actually walking. Wow, it's kind of amazing that you're still able to move around. I mean, I know that your leg wasn't broken, but being able to even walk a little after something like that is amazing.
Yeah, it's kind of unbelievable, actually. Did it not bite you that hard?
It definitely felt like it was biting hard.
Huh.
Well, let's see if I can at least find you a good walking stick so you can at least walk a little easier.
Bell nursed the gator. Walk? You think that she's in any condition to keep on going?
Well, I mean, she can stand and limp a little. We might be able to go slower, but we can still keep going, can't we?
Maria, she was just attacked by a crocodile. You can't possibly expect her to finish the last leg of this hike.
I mean, if she can keep going, she can keep going. It's up to her, though. I'm more worried that if she tries to head back on her own, that she'll get attacked again and she won't be able to defend herself.
And if she keeps going like she is, it gets attacked again. Or something else happens.
Then we'll be there to help her out, of course. That's why we're all going together, yeah?
You're just putting her in unnecessary danger.
We don't know if the next part will be dangerous, and we'll be there to help her out.
I mean, all the parts have been dangerous so far.
Yeah, someone has gotten injured every time.
We don't need to drag her along, just...
Alright, Devin's right here. Let's just ask her.
Devin,
Do you want to keep going, Devin, or do you want to head back?
you don't have to push yourself to prove anything, you know.
Now I just feel kind of bad. I thought that I'd be able to tough it out to the end, but it seems that I'm just being a burden. You're not being a burden. That croc could have attacked anyone. If it were just me and Kishi up here, the chances are it would have got one of us. So you're saying that my usefulness was just being croc bait? That's not what I'm trying to say. Look, bad things happen, but you came all this way with us because you were worried about the voting numbers and stuff, right? It takes some serious grit and determination. And who knows, you might be able to help us out because of it.
Grit and determination are fine, but you have to remember that she's also got to look out for herself. It won't matter how much grit and determination you have if you're a broken corpse at the end of all this.
I want to keep going. I don't want to be a burden. I want to see this to the end. If anything, I just want to prove that no matter what the hell Belle throws at me, I can make it. I can do it. Now that's the spirit. Stick it to Belle. She ain't gonna scare us into quitting. Besides, I don't want to have to walk through the swamp again right now. That croc might still be around. Oh yeah, good point. Well, in any case, let me go and clean myself up real quick. I get changed too. Plus my arm is still in bad shape, so I should probably get that checked out too.
Oh my god.
Kishi? Kishi.
What? What is it?
You just had a blank stare on your face. Is something bothering you?
Oh.
She hesitated for a moment and averted her eyes from me for just a moment.
It's nothing. Okay, well, it's clearly something.
Sure doesn't sound like nothing.
Don't worry about it. Here.
She handed me my phone and the tablet-like device.
They were in your old jacket. I figured you'd want them.
Oh yeah. Probably gonna need to change all these swamp-ass clothes anyway.
Right. Do you need some help getting dressed?
Probably just with the jeans. I think I can handle everything else on my own.
Nope, you got your jorts now. Sure, let me help out then.
With
Devin in
Kishi's
jorts.
with Kishi's aid, I was able to get changed to a fresh set of dry clothes.
You really want to prove yourself, don't you?
Yeah, I guess it makes me kind of annoying, doesn't it?
Not annoying. It's admirable in a way. I just don't really get what you're trying to prove to us. It's not like it matters if we believe that you're tough enough or anything, does it?
I know. I guess I just want to do it. This is just a stupid hike, and maybe I'm dumb for thinking I should make it all the way to the end. I just want to prove it to myself that I can make it. And honestly, I don't want to be alone in a tent with my thoughts right now. I'm sure that if I do, my mind will end up wandering places that I don't want it to.
Honestly, that's probably
Yeah.
the most fair thing that Devin
Yeah,
has
no,
said
that
so far
makes
about
so much
this.
sense.
Oh, well that's easier to understand, I suppose. Yeah, that makes so much more sense than anything else.
Uh-huh.
Than Devin just being like, I don't know, man, the vibes are just off
The
about
vibes are
that
bad.
tent. Has anyone just considered that the tent's vibes are bad? Well, no matter what you end up doing, no matter how far you go, I hope that you equate your worth with how other people view you. Jesus. That's not a healthy way to live.
You're one to talk. You're a rock star. You wouldn't be able to live the way you do if you didn't have an adoring legion of fans. You had a constant stream of people saying how much they miss you if you were gone.
Well, I guess you got a point there. Doesn't mean that I'm wrong, though. If you keep searching for attention and approval from others, you're going to be reliant on it.
It's not like I need it from everyone. I just need it from someone that I want to hear it from, you know? And now those people are gone. Alright, I'm all patched up. What's with you two? Having another heart-to-heart or something?
Something like that. Just listening to her as well. Anyway, about the tent.
Oh, you can keep it, Kishi. I don't need it.
How many votes does it mean?
Only one. Would you believe that? If it keeps up at that rate, the last tent isn't gonna need any. Just gotta get there.
Did you already vote for me?
Well, not yet. Wanted to just check up on you two first. Kishi stood up and walked over towards the tent and looked at the screen. Alright then, votes locked in? It's all yours, Maria. Sweet, so we can keep going and... Wait, what? Why did you give me the tent? I just said that I didn't want it.
Oops, my finger must have slipped.
No way that your finger would have slipped over something that
Eyes
important.
emoji.
Yeah.
Oh well, what's done is done. Not like it matters. You'd end up coming along no matter whether this tent was yours or not.
True, but... You're being too altruistic. Let someone else be the self-sacrificial one for once. When you put it that way, you make it sound like I'm hogging all the kindness. Well, no point in getting sour over it. Thanks, Kishi. Honestly, I only said that because I didn't want you to get all mad at me later. Despite everything you say, I can tell that you're the type that's always looking out for yourself. I figured that you for sure want this tent, and you'd fight me over it.
Surprise, surprise, I can have my kind moments too. Besides, you deserve some security too.
Guess so. Well, should we march on then?
I feel like take some supplies out of the
Yeah.
tent with
Yeah. Just because I got a tent doesn't mean I'm not going to finish the journey myself. Only one more tent left to find and then we can all get out of here. Yep, just one more to go.
you.
After Maria found me a nice stick to help me walk, we continued down the trail once more. Yeah, I feel like just take some of the, the food and water out of the tent. Oh,
Yeah,
is it-
like truly just wrap it in one of the extra shirts with some water and some Cliff Bars, just in case.
Oh, Has anyone checked out with Laura, by the way? I don't want her to get bored and lonely in that tent.
I talked with her a while back, but I guess it wouldn't hurt to catch up to speed with what's happened. Also, take the cliff bars, throw it in the swamp. Gator goes for the cliff bars. You escape.
Oh, that's right. It closes. When
Oh, that's right. It closes behind you. I forgot about that.
I can do it.
Damn.
I haven't chatted with her in a bit. Sure. Can you text and walk with that stick at the same time? Guess we'll find out. It was a little hard to walk and text at the same time, but I managed to make it work.
God damn it.
Hey, Laura. How are
Let
things
someone else text. You're disabled. I'm doing alright. A little bored and somewhat worried. Are you okay? I'm guessing you found some free time.
Yeah. We just made it past the 3rd tent, and we're going to the 4th one now.
Right, you're going to the 4th tent? Who else is with you?
Kishi, Marie, and I are all going together.
You're all going together?
Yeah, I actually got the 2nd tent, but I wanted to keep going. Maria has the 3rd tent, and Kishi will get the 4th when we get to it.
I see. Now I feel kind of bad that I didn't go along with all of you.
Don't worry about it. I got attacked by a crocodile.
What?
Yeah, it was pretty painful, but I'm walking now, so it's all good.
Oh my god, you're tough if you're able to keep walking after a crocodile like that.
What can I say? I'm tough as nails, it's hard to kill. This is very similar to the time that Blake once texted me like, hey, I got hit by a car, but it's all good. Like, don't worry about it. And like what they were really trying to communicate is that they had gotten tapped by a car that was going like 2 miles an hour in a parking lot. But I did get a text that was like, hey, I got hit by a car, but don't worry about it.
Well, that's good. How is Kishi doing? Is she alright?
She seems...
Why do you care?
She seems fine, though she does space out from time to time.
I see. I was just worried about her as well. She asked me a few personal questions a while back. What does that mean?
Like what?
Oh, well... What? Okay. Oh, well, you remember how I said that I got asked to kill someone with a wish here?
Sorta.
Kishi asked who it was I meant to kill. Oh.
Yeah, the crocodile is the one on the phone. Did you tell her?
I was like, you sure you don't want to accept that? No, it felt weird to talk about it.
The crocodile is coming from inside the house.
But she was really insistent about it. When I wouldn't give her a name, she asked who wanted me to make that wish. I don't have a name to give. It was sort of an anonymous representative of that disease. Oh. I think, what if Kishi is like trying to bust the cult from the inside?
Oh, interesting. That would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, because she's being really weird about it. So then she just stopped texting me, so I figured that she was angry with me.
Want me to ask her?
No, don't ask her. I don't want to make her angry. I just don't get why it's all that important to her, why she knows who I was asked to kill. It's not something that is really easy to talk about anyway. I don't know, I feel like it's pretty easy to just say someone's name.
Yeah, especially if they're a stranger.
And especially because you said you would do it.
Uh-huh. Alright, I won't ask, but she hasn't seemed angry if it makes you feel better. Hey Devin, looks like we're about to come up to our last obstacle. Put the tablet down and check it out.
It's a pit full of spikes and vipers.
Alright, give me a second. Gotta go. Looks like we're about to get to something important. Talk to you later.
Okay, be safe out there, Devin. What a wild thing to just like be having a conversation. Like,
yeah.
Oh, looks like we're about to do face whatever's next. TTFN.
Yeah. With that, I tucked my tablet away and looked ahead to see what it was that demanded my attention.
This is all your fault, Maria. I hope you know that.
Okay, when I said that there'd be a mountain to climb over, I didn't think we'd actually have to deal with a mountain. What were the odds that a mountain would actually show up? A mountain? We have to hike up a goddamn mountain? Sorry. If you want to sit this one out, I'd understand. It's hard enough to hike up a mountain, even without an injured leg. Well, let's see how far I can go.
I would just be like, Maria, carry me.
Yeah. If I think that I can't go any further, then I'll stop.
Don't force yourself. It'll probably be the hardest part of the hike we thought.
Don't jinx yourself, Kishi. It'll probably be cold and windy up the mountain. So you're probably going to be worse for wear out of anyone here.
I suppose you've got a point. Well, no point in fretting about it now. Let's get going.
The mountain path was gravelly, and the uneven ground made walking difficult, injury or not. The further up we traveled, the colder it got, and the windier it became. Eventually, snow began to fall, and it was like we were in the snowy area from before. Kishi, Devin, you two holding up okay?
Cold, but otherwise I'm fine.
I'm alright. Leg hurts, but it's nothing that I can't handle. Oh, that's me. Sorry. That's good, that's good. I don't think that we've got too much further to get to the top. But I'm worried about what Belle's got in store for us. Like, is she gonna summon an avalanche or a mountain lion or cause an earthquake?
Yeti.
Let's hope she goes easy on us and just lets the pain of hiking up the mountain be our only challenge.
You know, I think I misunderstood the whole point of this game.
Me
too. At first I thought it was going to be like squabbling over who got which tent. Like when you think about the first tent, we got to it after having to cross over a frozen lake in the blistering cold. And then after that, we had to walk through a scorching desert. Even in the swamp, we got attacked by a crocodile right where the tents were. That was obviously making it so we want to get these tents after each and every annoying encounter we get.
That seems to make sense. That's why you let Laura take the first tent, right?
I did think that she'd get more frantic if we didn't get her an early tent. But that's just the nature of the game. Each time you pass up a tent, you have to go through more tough shit. And I thought that initially you'd end up arguing and fighting with others over who gets to get in a tent and who doesn't. But now I'm not so sure if that's the whole trick to this game. See, I've been saying.
That's because when Devin decided to come along with us, it changed your line of thinking, right?
Well, sort of. But I also realized that the number of votes needed to enter a tent isn't based on a majority. It looks like it's just counting down by one each time.
Why do you look so sad when you say that? Shouldn't that be a good thing? I mean, that means that this last tent should only need 0 votes? Or maybe it just needs 1.
You'd think that. But the more I thought about it, I started to think otherwise. The obstacles, the tents, the voting numbers, even the tablets, I'm starting to realize their true purpose in the game.
And that is?
Well, it's...
Before she could answer, the ground suddenly began to shake and stir. It was a low rumble at first, but it was hard to keep balance as the entire mountain seemed to be shaking.
Maria, you just had to say fucking earthquake.
Me and my big fucking mouth. Try and get low. The last thing you want to do is roll off the mountain. We all crouched down and were able to stabilize ourselves to keep from falling off. Of course, that didn't help much when we were still
The
in
music
danger.
right now is so funny.
Yeah, we're getting crushed by the ensuing rock slide. We have to get moving.
You don't have to tell me twice.
The tumbling stones and debris from the top of the mountain began to pelt us along with the ground. We kept our eyes up and open to avoid the bigger stones and the occasional boulder from flattening us into pancakes. We ran as fast as we were able, trying to outpace the falling revel and make it to whatever checkpoint we could find. Of course, I straggled behind, but nevertheless hustled as best I could.
Running from an avalanche with fucking crocodile leg.
Eventually, we'd rushed our way over towards a rickety-looking bridge on the mountain. It's always the fucking rickety-looking mountain bridge. Oh, for fuck's sake, of course there's a perilous-looking bridge.
Well, we don't have time to waste gawking at it.
As if the mountain was agreeing with her, another violent shake sent a repeated wave of debris, rocks, and snow tumbling down near us.
Let's just go.
Alright, I'll go first. Maria quickly sprinted across the bridge, and it seemed to hold up well enough as she turned back to us and waved for us to follow.
Let's hold the next.
Kishi amped herself up as she ran across the bridge next. But unlike with Maria, the bridge buckled slightly, and with the mountain still shaking, Kishi held on for dear life to not fall off.
God.
Fortunately, she was able to keep her balance and make it to the other side of the bridge.
Yeah, this I was gonna fucking die.
Well, you're here now, so don't worry about it. Devin, you're up next. Just sprint across. You can make it. I'll try. Sprinting would be next to impossible with my injury, but I could try limping as fast as possible. Still no point in fretting about it. I just had to pray that this damn bridge would hold up as I crossed it. The first few steps are fine, and even with the bridge shaking, it seemed to hold well enough. That's it, just a little further.
And don't look down.
Why would I even do that?
Well, it probably helps, right?
No, it doesn't. As I took another step, the wooden floor of the bridge cracked and my foot fell through. God damn it! I was stuck, and I felt panic swelling in my brain as I was afraid of falling through. I could see the bottom, jagged stones and rocks ready to impale me if I were to somehow fall down. No! No! I didn't want to die. I came so damn far. I didn't want to die from a stupid old bridge. Don't worry, just pull yourself up. Don't panic. You're doing great, Devin. Just keep at it. Right, don't panic. I took a deep breath and tried to ease my nerves. I carefully lifted my leg out from the broken hole and began to step across the bridge once more. This time I'd be more cautious, watching if any of the planks had been cracked or damaged. Just have to go slow and steady.
That's it. You're gonna make it, Devin.
Yep, you're more than halfway there.
I'm just saying, this is another situation. Belly.
Yeah. Of course, as soon as she said that, a boulder that was crashing down the mountain smashed into the bridge. The bridge immediately collapsed, and I only had a split second to leap to the other side. My heart pulsed, and I felt a flash of energy running through my body as terror and adrenaline flooded my body. Just enough energy to make one leap of faith, a jump to hopefully make it to the other side.
Devin!
Here! Both Kishi and Maria rushed up to the end of the bridge, reaching their hands out to catch me. I didn't have time to think. My body just acted. I reached for... Uh-oh. We saving?
I mean, probably for Maria.
Yeah. My hand reached for Maria's, and I looked her square in the eye with desperation and hoped that she'd catch me. She'd grab a hold of me and I'd be safe. I'd be saved. I'd be alive. Uh-oh. My fingers just nicked the edge of her hand. I could feel gravity quickly pulling me down. This is it. This is how I died. A broken corpse at the bottom of a mountain. All because I couldn't jump far enough. Because I couldn't sprint fast enough. Because I went and got myself injured by a damn crocodile. Because I wanted to prove I was strong enough. But I'm weak. Weak and worthless. Worthless. I'm so damn worthless. And now I'm gonna die worthless too. A worthless life. A worthless death. A worthless person. Worthless.
Don't worry, I've got you. Holy
Aww.
shit.
What? I looked in surprise to see Kishi grabbing a hold of my arm with both her hands, dangling halfway off the ledge.
Though, I'm definitely slipping. Maria, mind giving a hand?
Right, don't you worry, I'll reel you in like a fish. With Maria's help, I was hoisted up to safety, and we all took a moment to catch our breath. The mountains even seemed to stop shaking, as if it were giving us a moment to pause.
Phew, that was close. Bell's really pulling out all the stops to make this exciting and deadly, huh? Devin?
I had buried myself in Kishi's chest and wrapped my arms around her. I couldn't handle it anymore. I just couldn't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Why are you apologizing? You didn't do anything wrong. If you're upset about the bridge collapsing, you know that's not your fault. It's not like you caused the earthquake in the rock slide.
Even so, it's all my fault. The lake and the gator and the bridge. You've been getting hurt all because of me. And then you nearly fell trying to catch me, and next time you won't just get hurt, you'll...
Stop it.
I felt Kishi putting her hands on my shoulder and glared at me dead in the eye.
Stop. All this self-destructive criticism of yourself. Just stop it.
But...
Listen to me. None of this, nothing that happened here is your fault. Not Maria falling in the lake, not the crocodile attacking you, and not the bridge collapsing. None of it is your fault, and you can't keep thinking that bad things happen just because you're around. You are not some living bad luck charm causing misery and pain. Do you get it?
I'd never seen such anger and frustration in Kishi's eyes before. I felt myself shivering from the conviction in her words. Hey, Kishi, maybe you should ease up on her.
No, don't you see? She can't keep tormenting herself like this. She's gonna break herself down. She's gonna collapse. She's gonna drive herself mad if she keeps putting herself at fault for things here. She'll be broken, and if that happens, then they'll...
She stopped herself but turned back to face me.
Look at me, Devin. I need you to listen to me. Not hear me, but listen to what I'm saying and internalize it. You are not at fault for what happens here. Do you understand?
I do, but...
But nothing. Bad things happen. They always happen in these games. People die, people kill. Sometimes they are the reason, and sometimes it's just dumb luck. But you have to be strong. You have to be tough. You can't keep blaming every bad thing on yourself and thinking that you're a horrible person for it. You want to survive, right?
I do, but...
Stop making excuses. You want to survive. That should be the end of it. I don't even believe you. You sound like you're just saying what I want to hear. What do you want, Devin? Do you want to live or do you want to die sniffling and curled up in a dark corner?
Kishi!
Shut up. We can't keep coddling her like everything's going to be okay. It was fine before, but if it's going to happen over and over again, we have to try something else. We have to give her the painful truth. That's the only way she'll get through this.
You don't know that. You might make things worse.
And you think that she'll be able to handle the rest of the games like this? That she's fine the way she is?
That's...
You know I'm right, so let me just handle this.
Maria grumbled, but nevertheless shook her head and let Kishi continue.
All I want to know is if she really has the resolve to keep going. Do you have that, Devin? Do you have the resolve to keep going no matter how painful it gets?
I
can't hear you.
I do.
I don't believe you. I bet you don't even believe it yourself. If you're going to speak, speak from your damn heart at least. Why does this woman sound like a Texas football coach?
She poked me in the chest and kept her eyes locked onto mine, and a spark of anger flickered in my heart as I looked back up at her. Of course I want to survive. I don't want Clyde's death to be in vain.
Who cares about Clyde? What about you? You're not living his life for him, are you? I mean, undetermined.
Why did that hurt so much to hear? It's not like I was living for Clyde, right? I just didn't want to sacrifice for me to go in vain. That's normal, right? I should be fighting for myself, trying to survive for myself. That should be my motivation, shouldn't it? I was silent as I balled my fist and felt the welling anger in my chest growing. I want to survive. I deserve to survive, just like anyone else here.
Say it again. Say it louder.
I deserve to survive. I deserve to live. With each word I spoke, it felt as though more and more emotions were banging at my throat, begging to be released. Every pent-up ambition, every subdued thought that finally had enough. And I'll fight for it, damn it. I'll fight with everything I got to survive. Because I'm tired of feeling like shit. I'm tired of feeling like I need to prove something to the world. Fuck everyone always telling me that I wasn't good enough. Fuck all of them for making them feel like I was failing them when they didn't give a shit about me. And screw them all for making me think that I was just some curse on everyone that I cared about and loved. It's like a dam was breaking, and a tide of relief was flowing out of me with each verbal confession. I don't want to feel like a burden. Because...
That's it. Go on, shout it to the world. Let your voice echo across this damn cursed mountain.
Because I'm not worthless. I could hear my voice echo across the landscape, as if it were trying to yell my own words back at me. And I fell silent, in awe of my own words.
That's it. Don't let anyone ever let you think that you're worthless. Don't let them ever make you feel helpless.
Kishi's gaze softened, and tears began to well up in her eyes as she pulled me into a tight hug.
Promise me that you won't forget that feeling. Don't let anyone make you feel helpless, hopeless, or worthless.
I won't.
Then you're ready. You can get through anything when you carry that strength with you.
Kishi let go of me and pointed towards the summit of the mountain, which was just within walking distance.
Let's go. We're close to the end, I think.
You good? Yeah, I feel like I just threw a huge weight off my shoulder. Like I tossed a boulder down this mountain. Well, I guess Kishi's methods work sometimes. I never would have figured that someone like her would be so what? Encouraging? Well, I guess she knows how to bring out the fire in someone. Probably comes from being in a rock band. Well, it must be working if you feel like making a good joke. Yeah, well, let's finish this. Feels like this hike has long overstayed its welcome. You don't have to tell me twice. Can you lend me your shoulder? I may be determined, but my leg still hurts a ton. Sure thing, Devin. Sure thing.
Carry her.
We walked for a few more minutes towards the summit of the mountain. The winds died, and a bright sunlight began to shine down on us. The warmth felt reinvigorating as we finally found ourselves at the top of the mountain, a view of the vast landscape. You could see from here that the landscape was cyclical, one path leading into another. The tundra led to the desert, which led to the swamp, which led to the mountain, and I could see a path that would lead back to the tundra again. Quite a sight to behold. Almost makes this whole thing worth it, I think. I think that you'd have to show me the pearly gates of heaven to make me think that this hike was worth it. Be careful what you wish for. Anyway, there should be a tent around here, right? So we looked for a few seconds, and we found Kishi standing by what looked to be the last tent of the hike. Yo, Kishi, finally found yourself a tent.
Mm-hmm.
She mournfully looked at the tent before turning out to look at the landscape again. Why the long face?
Oh, it's nothing really. Just found out that my suspicions were confirmed.
I walked over towards the tent and inspected the screen. Number of votes needed? 4. This tent requires 4 votes to unlock?
It seems so obvious in hindsight.
Wait, really? But that doesn't make sense. The first tent required 3 votes, then the tent in the desert required 2, the tent in the swamp needed 1, so shouldn't this tent require 0?
That would make sense, but I think what happened is that the order of the tents is just scrambled. Look at the land, it's a loop. It counts from 1 to 4. The issue is just that we didn't start at 1. We started at 3 and worked our way down.
Kishi pointed to each of the landscapes as if to highlight her explanation. That's not fair. How are we supposed to figure that out?
Because Belle told us.
What? When did she do that? Right before we played the game.
So what happens if you get to stay in one of the tents? Do you just get sent over to the lounge, or does something else happen?
You'll stay there for a while. After all, you'll still be able to communicate with the others, though you won't be able to vote anymore. This seems a little too simple. What's the catch here? I'm sure you'll figure it out quickly, but that's really all you need to know. I'm sure if you all make the grand journey together, everything will be fine. No way. She basically told us how to survive right at the get-go.
Seems to be the case.
Kishi walked over beside the tent and pointed to a sign that had a button on it. It read, "Welcome to the summit. This game will end if you press this button. Please note that if you are not in a tent 4 minutes after the button is pressed, you will die as the world crumbles around you. This game will also end automatically 10 minutes after all eligible participants have entered their tents. I hope you've enjoyed your lovely hike. Your gracious, lovely, beautiful, and fortunate host, Belle." Maria kicked the sign over in frustration. Bull fucking shit. This ain't fair. Do you get it? Oh, that's you.
Oh, yep. The whole game was just this series of tests and trials to see how far we'd all go.
So I guess if you leave Kishi in the tent, in the second tent, then Maria dies?
Yeah. That would make sense.
Interesting.
Also, Devin was also just right that the vibes were bad.
Yeah.
See if we could all make it. Every location was uncomfortable or dangerous. It made the idea of huddling in a tent all the more appealing. The numbers going down each time made it seem like it would be fine to be able to stay behind and not worry about whether anyone else would be able to survive. If you fell for that temptation even once, then someone was bound to die. And I guess we didn't see that clearly enough right at the start. It should have been obvious. Even the tablets are just meant for us to be able to communicate with one another so we can get in the tents before the button gets pressed.
We were so close. If If Laura hadn't entered her tent, then we could have kept going together.
Don't blame her. We were the ones that sort of pushed her into that tent anyway.
Well, then what are we gonna do?
What do you mean, what are we gonna do? You two are gonna have to hike back to your tents and I'll stay up here. Then when you're all safe, I'll press the button and the game will end.
That's it then. You're just gonna die?
Well, it's not like there's anything else I can do. I've come to peace with my inevitable death. You three can carry on ahead and I'll just do what needs to be done.
Alright then, if that's what's gonna happen, then that's all there is to it.
Yep. So good luck with the hike back down. Hopefully you can find a path that's safer going down than going up.
This would be the last time I saw Kishi alive. We didn't know each other that long, and not too long ago I hated her more than anything else. Now I can't help but feel a pang of sadness in knowing that she'd be gone.
What's with that look? You better not be blaming yourself again.
I'm not. I just want to say thank you. I extend a hand out to her. I'm sorry that things turned out this way. Kishi looked over at my hand, smiled, and gave me a firm handshake.
Me too. But hey, it's not so bad. There's always next time.
Next time, huh?
You'll figure it out. Just remember your promise, okay? No matter how bad things get, don't let anyone break you.
I won't. Never again.
But I won't keep you. Maria, please make sure that Devin gets to her tent safe and sound.
You don't have to tell me twice. Though, did you know about this whole thing back at the swamp tent?
I had an inkling that this is how things were gonna go. So take care of Devin in my absence, will ya? Make sure nothing bad happens to her.
Of course. Let's go, Devin. I think there's a separate path we can take since the bridge is out. Alright, let's go. Alright, so definitely there's some kind of like reincarnation time loop thing going on, because Kishi was like, wink wink, see you next time.
Yeah, and then literally said, you'll figure it out.
Yeah. I gave Kishi one last parting glance before walking down the mountain with Maria. Kishi looked at as though she were at peace. Sad, but at peace. We also, I think, in the towards the beginning, they were like, oh yeah, some of these people are like returning players. Which doesn't make sense if they all, like, if everybody dies and stays dead. It was so strange how she seemed to be able to be so composed at times, and then tough as a drill sergeant in another. Maria and I walked in silence until we managed to make our way down the mountain, and we're heading back towards the swamp. Except that this time, there weren't any annoying bugs, at least none that I could see or feel biting at me. You alright, Maria? You've been looking pretty pissed for a while now. Sorry, I guess I was just thinking about Kishi. Never would have figured that she would be so selfless, and I can't tell if it's an act or if she's genuine. Why would it be an act? Because she's part of the Digits of Eden. Right, she's the granddaughter of someone in charge and all that. Well, I don't trust them. They're schemers that try and manipulate people. You know, like a cult. They prey on people's insecurities, try and reel them in when they're at their weakest. I wouldn't be surprised if she was just trying to get on your good side, just so you'd be more willing to join them. You really think that? Of course I do. I've seen them do it before time and time again. I know how these kinds of people can easily hook someone into joining them with just a few kind words. Maybe Kishi's different. Maybe she's not actually all that interested in working with the Digits of Eden, but even so, I couldn't trust her to go with you and Lara alone. That's the reason I kept insisting on going along, in case Kishi was alone with either of you. That's the reason? It wasn't because of your superhuman resilience? Well, that too, but I just really didn't want either of you getting hoaxed into joining them is all. Nothing good can come out of it, I assure you that much. So you know from personal experience? Maria grew quiet as she looked down at the ground, and I saw a flicker of intense rage show itself on her face. Yeah. She let out a heavy sigh before patting her cheeks to compose herself. Anyway, just watch out for anyone making grand promises to you, okay? If Kishi really meant well and good, and only wanted you to get out of your mental funk, then that's good. I only hope that you don't get targeted by anyone else here. Are there other people here who work for the Digits of Eden? I think Everett and Teresa do, but don't quote me on that. If either of them say anything to you about it, just brush them off, alright? I will. Trust me, I'm not going to be taking shit from anyone anymore. Even from a mean old crocodile? Oh, maybe not that. I figured. Oh, I think this is my stop. Maria looked over at the tent that was coming into view. Just as cozy looking as I remember. Guess I wouldn't be alive if Kishi didn't vote for me to survive. Back then I thought she was just trying to get rid of me, but... Maria hummed to herself as she approached the tent, then looked at the trail. Hey, the trail's a little different. Look, it elevates over the swamp this time around. It does. Is Belle just trying to make things easier now that we've made it through to the end? Maybe? Do you want to go solo, or do you still want me to escort you? I think I can make it. Alright, well, I'll see you when this is all over then. Yep.
Maria, what the fuck?
See you soonish? With that, Maria entered into her tent, and I walked down the trail until I made it back to the desert tent. Once I entered inside, I carefully sat down and pulled out my tablet and texted Kishi. Hey Kishi, we all made it to our tents. It took a few minutes for Kishi to respond back.
Right, I was just chatting with Laura and Maria. Glad to know that you all made it back safe. I'll press the button and I guess I'll be moving on in around 4 minutes or so.
Right. Thank you for everything, by the way.
Don't mention it. These games are challenging in a way that I don't think anyone typically expects. Even if you know about them, you can still get overwhelmed and terrified. Honestly, I think it's impressive you got enough spirit to keep going. I think most people would have crumbled after the first game. I know I did.
You played these games before?
Yeah, 4 years ago with Zeph. I even knew how the games worked and all the rules, and even then I was so scared and terrified of everything. I don't know how I got out of there in one piece. Sometimes I think I didn't.
How did you and Zeph survive? Doesn't the game only have one winner?
That's true. There can only be one winning, but losing doesn't mean it's the end of everything. If you want the truth, if you want to survive, if you want Clyde to survive, then all you have to do is focus on winning. If you die, you become part of the cult! Do that and it'll all make sense. I know that you can do it, Devin. I'll believe in you all the way.
Suddenly my head throbbed in pain. I clutched my head and rolled onto my back as it continued to ache. Yet at the same time I felt something odd about it, as if I had heard those exact words. Even though I kept feeling pain, I felt a wave of relief and melancholy, as if the words both gave me a peace of mind and a sense of sadness. Eventually the pain went away, but I couldn't help but wonder, why did those words evoke such feelings from me?
Well, my time's almost up, so I'll be standing off. Until next time, Devin. Good luck and good fortune to you.
The tent began to shake violently. It was as if there was a terrible earthquake outside. All the materials jolted and shook, and I felt as though I was inside the drum of a dryer. I tumbled and tossed around the world until the world felt like an unsteady blur. Till finally, the world was still and silent. I huffed as I carefully untangled myself from the mess that had been made inside the tent, and looked towards the opening in the tent, which flapped weakly. The game must have ended, so I was meant to leave, right? I crawled out of the tent, and... I was in the hallway? I looked around and saw that there were 3 other tents here as well. But slowly, Maria and Lara crawled out of theirs as well. Are we done?
I guess we are? Were you all shaken up before being allowed to leave?
Yeah, felt like a bell at a fundraiser. Did somebody say bell?
Yep.
Congratulations, each of you, for completing your journey through the game. Hopefully you all feel nice and refreshed. You have a very strange idea for what kind of hike is nice and refreshing. Oh, but you all look like you were having fun. First the frozen lake, then the desert. Oh, and you met a darling little friend in the swamp. You think that thing was a friend, I'd hate to see what you considered an enemy.
Are we free to go then?
Of course. Just head on down the hallway and you'll be back at the lounge. What about Kishi? What about her? She didn't make it into a tent, so she's taking a bit of a dirt nap, if you catch my drift. Wow.
How did she die exactly?
You really want the nitty-gritty details of all that?
Yes?
Wow! Who would have imagined sweet Lara being the morbidly curious one of the group? Well, since you asked, I suppose I could show you the details.
Oh.
Val snapped her fingers and pointed behind us. When we turned, we saw Kishi's corpse curled up in a ball on the ground. The bruises, cuts, and unnatural body positions. It was obvious that she had somehow been crushed to death. There you have it, Kishi's earth-shattered corpse. It's like she got crushed by stones. Well, duh. She was on a mountain during an earthquake. Surely something bad was going to happen to her. So, are you satisfied now?
I'm not sure if satisfied is the word I'd use to describe this.
Aw, and I went through all the trouble of bringing her here. Oh well, not everyone appreciates my hard work. Belle clapped her hands once again, and the body fizzled into a dark blue mist. That reminds me, let me take care of those nasty injuries for you. Belle blew a kiss in our direction, and a light blue haze enveloped our injuries, and just like before, mended them all back to normal. Now you should all be roaring and ready to go. Don't tally too long. The other groups are no doubt excited to see you again. Ta-ta! And just like that, Belle vanished in a cloud of sparkly blue mist. And just like that, I think that's where we're gonna leave it for the evening.
Yeah.
The second death game has ended.
We did it.
We did it, lads. We did the second game.
And we killed Kishi.
And we killed Kishi. I am excited to go back and do the route where we put her in a tent and hopefully save her. How far into the flowchart are we? We are here.
Not far.
Yeah. Yeah, this little bullet point is Devin wins take a hike along with Laura and Maria. So
Okay.
I would assume this is like the last two games, and then we can go back to one of these points and follow along from there. Yeah, thank you all for coming out on a Friday night. I think Sabrina's streaming tomorrow and Andrew is streaming on Sunday, so good streaming weekend on the Moonshot Twitch channel.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Have a good night, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.